Hey. Hey, everybody.
I am looking at YouTube chat, restreamed Twitch chat. It's a wild vibe.
It's disgusting. Yeah. Boy, that's a
It can be
hideous.
improved upon, but it's working. It's working.
It's working.
I did it full on Anakin.
Uh
It's working. Yeah.
huh. Ooh.
Uh, let's see here.
I
We've
imagine most
got a
people are probably
full.
watching this on Twitch anyway, because that's where we've typically streamed, but we're doing both today. We are, for people who don't know, we're testing Restream.io to see if we
Sure.
can restream both to Twitch and YouTube. Oh, there's Josh over on YouTube. His
But
his chat on
do,
YouTube looks great. Everybody else's looks like crap.
do you not feel like you're on the Jedi Council in was it Revenge of the Sith, where it's like it's you and Yoda and Mace Windu and everybody else's holograms? That's the effect we're trying to go for here, Josh. Uh, I don't know, because like traditionally our YouTube crowds are bigger than our Twitch crowd. I think it's because our age demographic, people just don't fuck with Twitch so much. They're much more on the YouTube. We'll see. We'll see. It's something we're going to experiment with as the week goes on.
Yeah.
Twitch does have better emotes, but I know there's a way. There's a ways we can make this. Like we can get rid of the restream bot, I think, and have it
Mhm.
actually be the person's name. I think there's ways you can get support for the emotes and stuff. So we'll see.
Oh my.
We'll see.
Oh my.
Who is your favorite Jedi on the Jedi Council?
It's I don't know. I don't know their names is the problem. Let's say the other Yoda. Yaddle? Is that her
Yaddle.
name? Yeah.
Yaddle. My favorite was Plu Koon. He was
Is
the
that the
dude
blue
with like
guy?
the metal mask and like no.
Oh,
He had
okay.
like a cuttlefish face with like a mask and glasses because he couldn't breathe the atmosphere, and he didn't say anything. He just looked fucking cool.
Yeah.
I always was hoping that we would, and yeah, probably in the Clone Wars he got to kick a lot of ass, but
I mean the real answer is Yoda, right?
yeah, if you wanna be a
You want
front
to cop
runner,
out. Yeah.
if you just wanna like what all the cool kids are like, and yeah, Yoda will get you there.
Mhm. What is
Um,
what is the title of the people are seeing on this? Because when I go to restream in our video, it says testing streaming, but when I look
says
at it
quit your
on YouTube
pitching.
and Twitch, it says Quip and For All Mankind.
Huh. What is that? Where is it getting that name? Did you not put that in anywhere?
I put it in through OBS, and it looks like Twitch and YouTube picked it up, but then
Wild.
restream, their like streaming dashboard didn't pick it up. Maybe I need to refresh. Let me refresh it. No, it still says testing streaming. Weird.
Jim is wearing a cool hat. I wanted a cool hat like that,
Oh,
but the NASA store did not stock hats that fit my head.
yeah.
It's a problem. Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto. That Kit Fisto and so many things. I don't know. He felt like the kids Jedi champion. He's a mischievous imp.
Hmm.
Mischievous Jedi imp, I think.
This is kind of neat. I can just reply straight to one of the streaming services, either Twitch or YouTube, or I can send it through Restream to reply to everybody. Let's see what happens when I do that. Test. What does that look like? Okay, it looks good on Twitch and looks good on YouTube. Nice. Comes through as bald move in both places. Okay, we cannot mess around too much today because we have a lot to do. We've got quips to record. We've got For All Mankind feedback, and then we got to go watch episode 2 of Westworld and record an instant take.
Mhm.
Weird, right? Yes, AC totally fixed. It
He's
was
cool as a
expensive, but
cucumber. In fact,
worth it.
You froze me the fuck out the first night I hung out over there.
Yeah, you came over
I was
without a
sitting.
hoodie and
No, I had no. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and I sat right in front of a vent, and that
yeah.
sucker. Woo!
Yeah, when you sit in front of the
Froze me out.
vents, it's bad news if you're in shorts.
Oh, gotten a lot of people requesting us to release the For All Mankind early because Apple has started dropping them kind of about the same time Amazon does. So you said test and it came over across. See, interesting. So this Restream bot is only like a YouTube thing because it looks like you said test over on Twitch.
Yeah, and on YouTube.
It's completely seamless.
Yeah, our Restream bot, is that a Discord thing? Didn't we install something on Discord that we were experimenting with to try and get Discord chat in there too?
Well, why would Bald Move work like we want it to and none of the others do? Yeah, I think you might be right. There might be some bot confusion here.
Yeah, because it's all coming from Restream bot, which...
Hey, Fabio. Thanks for joining all the way from the southern half of the Americas.
Yeah.
Always love to see a first-time chatter.
All right, this is cool. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Quip title suggestions over on Patreon.
Nice.
If you guys didn't know, producer and above gets the opportunity to suggest a title for our Quip riff session. Can't guarantee we'll always use it.
Can't guarantee we'll always use it or have anything funny to say about it, but we will consider it. The same we will. So what do you think we should do? Do you think we should give the people a peek behind the curtain, show the generator that we're using, and just like do a couple iterations of that, and see how that goes?
Yeah. You want to pull up those generators?
Yeah.
Should
do you want me to share it on my screen? Yeah. I mean,
if you can share it, that'd be great.
Center. Oh, okay.
I've already got so much else going on over here. And I'm going to have to monitor the Patreon stuff. So.
Way too many tabs. We had, I don't know why, but anytime we do a weekly process or monthly process, it generates 1 hojillion tabs in my browser. Oh, we got we're completely done the weekly process. Let's get that in the done pile. Bam.
Man.
All right.
People are addicted to Crane Game. You guys need to hook up with Jan over at Giant Bomb. He's a Crane Game aficionado.
Okay, quit your pitching. So how do I do this? I think I got a media share button. We'll see what happens. Let me make sure. All right, so hit this. What does this do? Main monitor? Hey! I've got him. I think generator land, this is the one that we normally mainly use. Maybe not. Hold on. Let's see here. Nope. Oh, this might be fun, but this isn't usually the one we start with. This looks like...
Oh,
here we go.
Jesus, Slappy. That sucks. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe you should just send me the link and I should pull this up because now we can't see you at all.
Well, you just have to change your view to be up in the corner.
Change my view to be up in the corner.
Don't you have a view that
screen share?
Yeah, like the.
Well, we're gonna lose chat. No, we're not. Kinda.
Because I can definitely fit all this in. Like you throw your. What do you got to do? You got to. Yeah, you just have to put your camera on top of my. You just have to share my thing and then put your camera on top of it, and then I guess move the chat somewhere.
Okay.
You got COVID for a third time? I didn't even know that was fucking possible. You collecting all the variants like some kind of demented Ash Ketchum? I'm so sorry, man. Does it get easier? I don't really know much about repeat infections. I knew it was possible, but wow, 3 times seems rough, especially since I haven't even gotten it once. I'm still in the 0 time club, which probably guarantees that I'll get it the next week. Oh, you got the long COVID too? Shit.
Okay, let's try this.
Robots just joined the COVID club on Saturday. Oh my god. Yeah, it's still going on out there. It's kind of at a dull roar, but I feel like it would sting. I was just talking to this with my beard guy last time I seen him. That like if I got COVID like now, it would feel in the middle of like a lull period. I would feel extra bad. I don't know why. Just feels like if you go through 2 years and you survive unscathed, yeah, that'll work, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I can always kind of move things around too if I need to. Criminal Lucy.
Wait.
How does Criminal Lucy
wait,
grab you?
wait. We have to record this stuff.
What? Oh, right.
Yeah.
We don't usually record this phase though, to tell you the truth.
Huh?
We usually just we usually just say like whether we got a take on this or not, and then we save I copy this to the document that keeps track of all the different ones, and then we pitch.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, there's a selection phase. We can record this because it's probably like just us cracking up at some of this stuff would probably be good content. So why not? And I guess Talitha, when we start the actual quipping part, we'll let you know, and you can mark that because this stuff might just be I don't know.
All right,
director's
sure.
cut stuff.
Well, I'm gonna start recording because why not?
Well, I got to get a quip thing going because that's why.
Easier to record.
I don't even have a quip folder. It's been so long. Holy shit. Quip.
Better to have recorded and not needed than to have needed and not recorded.
We're saying this is season 4?
Uh-huh. We have no idea if this will be episode 1 or if this will be episodes 1 and 2 or if all of it will be cut.
A limited mini?
Sure. Yeah. Last season was. I think we only had 4 episodes.
Restream chat scrolls up instead of down?
Yes, I hate it.
Scrolls down instead of up.
I hate it.
Interesting.
I hate it so much.
Scrolls down. I'm not seeing that. Where are you guys seeing? Oh, your show. That's the so you had the Restream plugin. I can see.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm just looking at the raw chat and it's not doing any of that shit.
It might be able to change it
in the raw. Why can't I change the ratio of? Oh, because I'm not in the. Okay, hold on a second.
Let's see what Restream's doing with chat.
Also, holy cow, Streamlabs. Should I start recording?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I am.
All right. Oh, what the hell? Okay, well, whatever. Let me catch up on support real quick. Slappy Dappy with 17 months of Twitch Prime support. Sneaking up on a year and a half. Gnarls with 18 months. He is at a year and a half. Blaze it. Thank you for blazing it, Gnarls. And Robot K says, this is a little craze balls. It is. Thank you for the tier 1 support. 8 months. That's something new we're trying. We're trying to be more inclusive. Which streaming service you like or support? Okay, I can make chat way bigger now.
Nobody tell Twitch though. Nobody tell Bezos because he'll kick us off.
Nah, we're gonna pull. Like if this hits, we'll pull out of the affiliate program. Also, like the Twitch is openly discussing dropping that 24-hour exclusive commit thing. So
yeah.
In fact, they might have already done it. I'll see. But if we get banned from Twitch, them's the breaks. Okay. Criminal Lucy.
All right. It's the I Love Lucy sequel where she's a criminal. Is that funny?
She's got lots of splaining to do.
Right. And now it's the prison guards telling her she's got lots of splaining to do.
I also had, when I first saw this, well, obviously I thought of I Love Lucy. Oh, Lucy! My second thought was, what if you had a vice cop department that only cracked down on psychedelics?
Okay. All right. That kind of Lucy. The in the sky with diamonds kind.
Criminal Lucy. This isn't for research purposes. This is for record. It's clearly Criminal Lucy. I don't know. Like that. I don't know. Is it worth writing down?
Write it down. Write it down.
All right. It's getting to the writing down stage.
Oh, let me hit you with the Patreon suggestions too. So
you want to do that at the end,
these down,
or do you want to do it right now? Because go ahead and throw them in the Quit Your Pitching document, which is shared with you.
Oh God.
Search for Quit Your Pitching.
I don't even have Google Drive pulled up. Okay.
All the chat is in the Discord too. Does Discord chat move? Whoa, where?
There you go.
What part of this? About. What part of Discord is it happening? Is it happening in like a place that you're cool with it happening, Josh?
The general channel.
It's just happening in general chat. It's madness. What is this?
All right, fire up the next one, I guess.
All right, here we go. Mash up another one. You're going to mash them. Bonanza Impossible.
Okay. All right.
I mean, is it funny to do like a Wild West show that's also a spy?
I think so.
Kind of.
Yeah.
All right, we might
I've
try
never
that.
seen it. It's actually not a terrible idea.
The closest you come to it is like in the Kingsman series where you've got the statesman, and everybody's got big belt buckles and handlebar mustaches and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. Father Knows Ironside.
Says Michael Ironside.
I don't got nothing for this.
Maybe it's a comedy where like Michael Ironside becomes religious, and he goes around and does a whole bunch of bad stuff, and then he has to confess to the priest.
This priest knows about all of his bad shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then the
like
priest
a seventh seal
is
where
selling all of that information to the newspapers. To the
sounds like you got a pitch.
Okay, yeah, let's do Father Knows Ironside.
Okay, Father Knows Ironside is going on the list. Mash 'em up. Planet of the Texas Ranger. So does that mean the planet is nothing but Texas Ranger? Or is it a Texas Ranger visiting a planet?
I mean, Planet of the Apes was definitely a planet full of apes. So it'd be a whole planet full of Texas Rangers?
Are they all Chuck Norris? Or is it like when you go see the Green Lantern Corps and they're just like every imaginable configuration of Green Lantern?
I like that because
genderly, alienly.
It allows for some really good casting. Because, it gets a little samey with just Chuck Norris.
Are we going to write this down? I don't know. We'll see. Because that's the thing. It's like if 30 seconds go by and it's lame, then we can always just shit can it.
Yeah, we pulled the ripcord on a lot of these. So
unusual that we've had this many pitches. We usually have a lot of just kind of like lol. What?
It's been a long time too, which helps. Battlestar Beaver.
Battlestar Beaver. We typically struggle with the beavers. We've had the eager beavers. We've had the legal beavers. I think we've had all kinds of. It always turns into vaginas.
Yeah.
I
had that wholesome beaver pitch one time.
Unavailable. You had a wholesome beaver, right? Yeah. We had the wholesome beaver pitch that still turned to vaginas at the end, didn't it?
The somethingest beaver? I can't. Yeah, I probably did turn to vaginas.
The
Battlestar
littlest beaver.
Beaver.
Was it the littlest beaver?
Yeah, something like that.
Leave it to yeah.
I don't got anything for Battlestar Beaver.
Okay, me either. Family break. I just need to take a family break, guys.
Break from
It's
the
like
family or break with
it's like
the
going
family?
out for a pack of smokes, but you just go on a vacation and you eventually come back.
Okay.
I need to take a family break. I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything funny about that.
Sad, maybe.
Could you break it? Is it about breaking families?
Go
That's
to
still
the
not
reality
funny.
show well, the reality game show well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
funny.
All right. My favorite nun.
No.
I don't think so either. Holy shit, Chocolate Mike. Welcome to 24 months of stealing 2 years of stealing Jeff Bezos' money. That gets you a stripe on the road,
Damn.
by the way. Make sure you stop by the Bald New Tailor. Mash 'em up. Bosom Impossible.
Okay, this has potential.
Does it?
Oh,
Does it
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Bosom Impossible.
I mean, I've already got casting down. I mean, we can cast.
Do ya?
We can cast Christina Hendricks, and we cast Daniel Day-Lewis as his character from Phantom Thread, and he is trying to create a dress for
Double D.
Christina
Lewis,
Hendricks.
Uh-huh.
Right, Double D Lewis. That'll be the character's name. And he's trying to create a dress for Christina Hendricks to walk down the red carpet at a movie premiere. But
Okay.
you know that's
I mean,
not
you
easy.
did-
That's not easy, right?
Don't-
It needs to
don't-
be
don't
sexy.
shoot your
Okay.
pitch wide,
all right,
man.
all right.
If you sound like you got a fully realized cinematic universe for this, let's mash 'em up. Everybody loves 911.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god. No. Pass.
Yeah.
Pass. The Days and Nights of Life.
Days and Nights of Life.
A little too rando and broad for me.
Yeah.
Diagnosis Chris. We've had some good Chris's. We had I
Yeah.
forget what it was about the Chris's where it was Chris, it was Pine, Evans, Pratt, and what, the Australian one?
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, all hanging together in a house.
Yeah.
And I forget what the hook was on that. Diagnosis Chris. Is that what happens when you go on a steroid cycle for a Marvel project and they're like, you've come down with short-term Chris. You're going to be assigned a starring role on a new D+ series, and Kumail Nanjiani, latest victim of the Chris syndrome. He was diagnosed with Chris some 2.5 years ago. Some say his head's still growing. I don't think I got it. You got one?
No.
Mash 'em up. America's Most Junction.
No.
America's Most Junction.
Is
No.
it the cross that what is the name of the place that was in Breaking Bad where all four states meet in corners?
Oh yeah, the Four Corners. Isn't it the Four Corners Monument?
Just four corners, yeah.
That's America's Most Junction. What happens? What happens at the Four Corners Monument?
I feel like it's Lovecraftian. It's like supernatural.
Can you imagine what the Duke boys could do if their county bordered against four state borders?
Oh man, they'd run circles around those counties.
They could just literally be doing like a 360-yard job around that corner, and no cops could ever stop them because they're not in their jurisdiction long enough. And that's
Right.
a state line. That's a state line.
And how are you going to catch them? You got to coordinate with four different
You got to
states to
coordinate
come in and
four,
catch
and it's
them?
crossing
Yeah.
lines, so the feds are going to be involved. It's a jurisdictional shit show, man. Is that
No, this is
is that okay?
it's not good enough. No.
Well, I think we just pitched it, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done with it. It's details. We need details for people. All right. Flying apes. Ooh, anytime you get ape, there's potential.
Sure. Flying apes. Is this like a circus thing? Like,
This is about the value of a bored ape cratering. Everyone's apes flying away.
NFTs. Okay.
Yeah, NFTs. It's an NFT heist series about boosting apes from people's Twitter's it's not very funny either.
Yeah. I was thinking like a circus where they make apes do the trapeze act, but that's not funny.
Could be Wizard of Oz spinoff, like Alina's saying here. But that's a German. Is inherently funny, like flying apes. Like what did the flying monkeys do? They're not inherently evil, right? We found that at the end of Wizard of Oz. Like they were all just bent to the witch's will.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm not seeing it.
No.
Apes becoming pilot. Yeah, it's the whole pitch. You know what I mean? It's not just the idea. It's the whole pitch. Full years. I feel like I've been living through
40.
some full years lately.
Yeah. It's Fred Savage. He's 40.
Fred Savage is 50. Oh, he's
50.
40.
Yeah, he's 45. Let's split the difference.
Okay.
He's got kids who are about to graduate. He's essentially just his dad in the fucking show in Wonder Years.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's just
a little bit less of a silent generation and more of a boomer, but
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
This is a serious suggestion or?
No. I was trying to get there, but I couldn't do it.
Perfect boat.
Ooh. All right, I'm immediately going to cast Nick Offerman. And he is going to... Maybe it's a reality show where he goes around and evaluates people's handmade boats. I don't know if that's funny. That's not funny.
That's a show that could get greenlit on HGTV
absolutely.
Right now. Like him going and handcrafting boats and
I feel like boats are the last.
It's like Kitchen Disaster.
Yeah, or Hotel Impossible, or any of those things, right?
So first time we've been tempted to go to the reality well. Do you want to? I mean, we might be able to develop that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, perfect boat.
Worst that happens is we pitch it, nothing comes of it, we cut it.
Cut it. Cut. Barry Lasso. What the fuck is that? Okay, Lost in Game. Lost in the Game, man.
I feel like this is a techno thriller. Where like you know the I don't know, acronym LFG, looking for group.
Yeah, looking for game.
What if
looking for game? Yeah.
You were playing a game and you saw a bunch of LFGs, but then you see somebody posting LIG like over and over again. And you're like, what is looking in group? What is that? And and then you like start digging into it. Like, what are they meaning? And you find out they're lost in the game somehow, and you got to get them out. There's nothing funny about that pitch.
Is it like people that just like stuck on raid? They got literally lost in a raid. Like
God, they got separated from the group. Yeah,
raid, or...
like they're newbies who went on their first high level raid
can't figure out how to get out, but they don't want to stop because they'll lose their progress and they won't get their rewards. So people have to go. Is that funny? Like a dedicated ragtag team of veterans going in and saving people from dungeon raid. Nah,
no, it's not funny for sure.
Okay. They don't have to all be funny. Sometimes they can be interesting, but they have to be really fucking interesting.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Let's see. Moving on. Passport to Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Queens becomes an independent nation.
That's where I was.
The borough. Thinking. I don't know enough about Queens. Like,
I don't either.
Is Queens like the least like I feel like I got a good handle on like the Bronx and Harlem and Manhattan and Brooklyn and what they are. But if someone says they're from Queens, I'm like, okay, I have no fucking clue what that means.
And all my knowledge of New York comes from my dad, who lived there like 50 years
Right.
ago. So I don't even know
Yeah.
what the reputation of any of the boroughs is like now.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't have any now. So is there anything else? Is there any other Queens that you could get a passport to? Passport to Queens.
Um,
I'm not thinking of any.
Maybe the King of Queens. Maybe it's like you get you get a maybe it's somebody who gets a ticket to a live taping of King of Queens and goes there and just heckles Kevin James the whole time. That's almost like fantasy wish fulfillment stuff for me.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's funny.
Passport to Queens. You just go and you pay to be cruel to
Yeah.
the star of King of Queens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna click mash them up.
That's a good idea.
Full race.
Mm.
Who had the full year? Gnarls had an interesting pitch for full year, which is like 24, but every episode is a full year.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it can't be real time, right? Unless we're talking
I mean,
Truman Show stuff.
that's what I'm saying. It does sound like Jack Bauer as the Truman Show. No one has an interesting a year that's that interesting. There'd be a lot of times of him just like, I got sick and I'm just staying in bed for 3 days.
All right, how about
there for every
full race can be about the Boston Marathon, and all the slots are taken for the Boston Marathon, but there's one runner played by somebody to be named during the pitch who desperately wants in for some reason. And what links will they go to? And this can go very dark. I know the Boston Marathon is at its troubles,
Jesus.
but
Let's
they
leave the troubles out.
yeah, right. But they want in on the race, but the race is full. So there's your setup. Is there a pitch in there?
All right, I like
a funny
that.
pitch?
I think we might be able to do a pitch on that. Here's another one. It's like in Star Trek: The Next Generation when someone evolves to be a higher plane of being and they turn into energy or whatever. What if someone is fully racial? They suddenly become the embodiment of all Earth races.
Oh, okay. I don't know
like
how
a
you depict
superpower.
this. Is it like the old
Full genetic spectrum.
yeah, like, do you know how they did the old Klingons in the original series? They just do like a checkerboard pattern of just like every color.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That seems kind of dumb. I like the idea of someone becoming I'm full race, but like, what does that? Yeah, what does that look like?
I don't know.
All right, full race. I like the someone trying to. I feel like there's a Simon Pegg movie along those lines at some point, but I can't remember.
There's definitely a Simon Pegg movie where he's like a runner. I saw it. It was like a rom-com. I didn't care much for it.
Oh, George, this is a live stream. It's this. We're
Yep.
doing a restream. It's going to 2 different places, going to Twitch and YouTube. That's why it's got the restream stuff going. And in Discord live chat, there's like so many places you can participate.
Nice.
Full race. Moving on to the next one. Mash them up. Hidden Ironside.
Can't do
man,
two
we're been into
Ironsides.
Ironsides. Well, yeah. King of the Chris. See, this is the problem.
Yep.
You might start to see. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we did the King of Chris sketch already.
Here's the
And it's
thing.
Hemsworth.
I think we have plenty to go on here. Do we want to look at the Patreon ones and see which ones we have pitches? We could come up with pitches for, because we've got a bunch now, and we don't have a ton of time today.
That's true.
And we don't have to get through all of them.
Okay.
We're just creating a list for future pitches.
It's been a while since we've done this. These might all suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These might all, in fact, suck. This might be something we wad up and throw away. Who really knows? Okay. Well, the nice thing is we didn't go through all of our generators either. That's cool.
Nice.
So we've got. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just do.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Let's just do. Okay. Under the bottom. So this was your brother's when he heard what we were doing, and we were talking about Over the Top that we had just watched because of the upcoming Badass Fest. He suggested Under
Yeah.
the Bottom. And I had a pretty good pitch for this. I can't for the life of me remember what the hell it was about. Because if you're going over the top, going under the bottom.
I feel like this is the next year's event, right? So like if Sylvester Stallone or
Oh,
fuck,
by the way,
Hawk.
Tyler, we are in the pitching section now. So making.
Oh, are we? Okay. I wanted to go through
Yeah,
the
right?
the Patreon ones and see which ones we want to keep and which ones
Oh,
we
I
don't
thought we were
have
just
a
going to
pitch
start
for.
pitching on them all. Okay.
Because I don't know that we'll have a pitch for all of them.
Barry Lasso.
This is great. This is a football coach.
Oh, I get it.
Who is also a serial killer, right?
Yeah, a hitman.
Yeah,
An amoral
an
hitman.
assassin. So
Serial killer sounds a lot.
And maybe he's able to like somehow surreptitiously kill players on the other team in order to win soccer matches.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can talk. We can. I don't have anything, but we can develop that.
We could develop that. Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Stranger Offers.
Ooh.
Stranger Offers. Are these strangers offering? This sounds like a reality show. Strangers offering people things and how people react to it.
Stranger Offers.
Like you just come up and say like you might have like a bowling bag, bowling ball bag, and you just run up to somebody on the street to here, take this, and you just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in that bowling bag? Or a baby, a 6-month-old baby. You just walk up and say, "Hey, hold this for a minute," and you just walk away.
Yeah.
Like it's stranger offers. It's just people giving things, and then then film their reaction.
Okay, we could maybe pitch things that we could walk up and give them. That would be hilarious.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what are the things that would get like the most reaction?
A ticking time bomb.
A freshly sliced durian.
Oh God. Yeah.
A plastic sack full of diapers. Yeah, so yeah, we could do that. We could do. I don't know if that's funny.
Yeah.
I never know about any of these things. We own this good place.
We own this good place.
Is this cops? Cops in heaven?
Yeah, angel cops.
A corrupt squad of archangels keeping the streets of heaven clean. What does that even look like? Okay, yeah, I think that bears some development.
Yeah.
2000 Mule Kind. What the fuck is this a mashup of?
I don't even know, man.
Mule Kind? Like, as for all Mule Kind, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the story of some Colombian donkey. Or mule. Sorry. I don't know. Developing the first coffee bean conveyance system.
Chocolate Mike says 2000 Mules is a right-wing propaganda movie. Never heard of it.
2000 Mules is a right-wing propaganda movie for real? Well, yeah. I don't know. 2000 Mule Kind. I don't know what that's supposed to be a reference to even. So,
yeah.
Nothing particularly funny.
Nope. I say cut it.
Triumph of the Wills type of thing. Not inherently funny.
Sure.
For all the leftovers. Okay, this is a pretty good mashup. This is For All Mankind and the Leftovers, but it's also just funny for all the leftovers.
Sure. Is it a reality competition game? Okay. Oh God, this is dark.
I've got a reality competition. Yeah, I got a reality competition pitch. Yep.
So the crew of For All the Leftovers and the writers and all the below the line people get together every day and they plan this show and they work on it and they order in, food for lunches. And not everybody eats everything. They maybe order a little too much, and so you put it all into a fridge, and then the reality competition show is have homeless people compete in competitions to win the leftovers from the cruise lunches.
Okay.
It's
Mine is
dark.
along a similar line. Mine's along a
Okay.
similar line, but
Oh
it's
God.
not. It doesn't have much in the way of exploitation or taking advantage of people.
Ah, see,
My
see.
idea is you you get groups of 8 or more at a restaurant, and you got a camera and a microphone, and right as they're splitting up the bill, you come in and be like, okay, pass around envelopes.
Hmm.
Everyone puts a money amount in there, and whoever has the highest bid gets to take home all the leftovers on
All
the
right.
table. You're going to be eating good for the rest of the night.
Hmm.
And it's all about like looking at it and it's like, what is actually left over? Is there anything
Yeah.
good here? Is it all just like soggy
How
breadsticks
much is
and
half a pork chop worth? I don't know. How much is it
right?
worth to Dan across the table?
Right. Right. Yeah. Is like a half a ham sandwich equal like 2/3 of banana Foster? Well, I don't know.
Right? Those conversion rates.
I think that is the pitch though. That's
It is the
yeah.
pitch.
Good news. It's a suppository. Well, that's just
This is
a
a Futurama
Futurama
quote.
reference.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what fucked up show you could be where the refrain is always, "Oh, well, good news. It's a suppository." Like, how am I supposed to cram this in my mouth, or how am I supposed to fit this in my ear? How? No, yeah. Good suggestion, but I don't know what to do with it.
I don't either.
Bad
You
news,
wanna
it's a
pull it?
suppository. Now you got some gas. We got the Westovers.
The Westovers. If I knew anything about England, I could start to pitch this as an English leftovers taking place in the West End, but I don't.
What if it's set in Middle Earth and it's about elves
Oh, or Westeros.
in the Undying Lands, and 2% of all elves in the halls of Mandos or whatever just disappear? Nah, that's stupid. That's just Tolkien leftovers. But
What
you
about
got
what
Liv
about
Tyler.
Westeros? What?
You got Liv Tyler
Oh,
already baked
true,
in.
true. She could play multiple roles.
Fuck, Arwen's not good enough? Is it because she shacked up with Aragorn? What's the deal here? What was your recommendation?
The Westeros. So it's the Westovers, but it's Westeros, right? So like 2% of the wall disappears. I don't know.
The Westovers.
2% of the houses disappear, just totally disappear. Like the Greyjoys and the Mormonts. I don't know. They both just disappear. How many houses are there? Are there 100 houses? So would that be like
That was
two
a lot of
houses just totally
houses. It's
disappear?
a lot of
Or
great houses. Oh yeah,
tons of them? Okay.
get easily. Like each kingdom has like 10 to 12, at least.
But then I don't know what the point of that is. That's like the setup,
Right.
but then where do you go from there?
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to see how the people deal and react with it. But they'd just be like, "Well, it's witchcraft," and
Right. Right.
they're like, this is the thing. It's like ancient societies would handle that a hell of a lot better than modern ones. Like if in ancient Egypt 2% of the population just disappeared, it'd be like, "Well, man, we fucking got to get right
Yeah.
with Ra."
There'd be no scientific investigations, right? It'd just
Yeah,
be like,
yeah,
they're gone.
yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
like sacrifice somebody to one of the gods and hope for the best.
Like everyone's like, we've lost a third of our children just through natural childbirth. Like
Right.
this future holds no horror for us.
This was actually a good year. 2%? Shit, we did great.
2%. Oh man, if and mysteriously the births are unusually healthy that year.
How about this? How about the Tyrells are one of the houses that disappear, and then the breadbasket's all, up for grabs, and then you have a war of the five kings essentially, except it's
For the
over
breadbasket?
the breadbasket. Yeah.
The conquest of bread, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that funny? Is any of that funny?
I mean, I feel like we got halfway to a pitch there, but I don't know if the rest of it is funny.
I think it's the pitch is just realizing that, like, yeah, in like Westeros, a 2% loss of the population would just be
Yeah.
a year. It would be something fucked up. The Maesters would be shrugging, but like, yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as fucked up as it is. I mean, or I don't. I think so. Maybe it would lead to like increasing religiosity, and that would like have deleterious effects on society. I don't know. I'm thinking of deleting it. What do you think?
Sure.
Deleted. Eyewitness. What the hell? That didn't work out. Eyewitness. This is Harrison Ford is a robot, a robot, Amish robot. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
all the
something
pitch
that
you
can be
need.
explored. Yeah. That pitch, but this movie belongs in Hollywood. Let's see here. Okay.
God.
Do we want to start? Want to start pitching?
I mean, how much time do we
Is
have?
your brother still in your house? Can you yell at him and ask him what the pitch for Under the Bottom was? Because
He's not here at the moment.
God
He went to the
damn it!
coffee
It was
shop.
good. I remember being really good.
Yeah, we can come up with a good one.
Okay, so over the top is
Well,
when you're arm wrestling.
So do we
and
have
you do-
time is the question, because we're scheduled to do a For All Mankind feedback podcast in 9 minutes.
I think we have about 30 to 40 minutes of feedback. How much have we got scheduled?
Hour and a half.
Maybe it'll be an hour. Okay, we could go in. We could easily go 30 minutes.
Okay, well, let's do it then. So
So we got a lot of feedback, but as you'll expect, a lot of stuff is immediately, since we haven't done it in 3 weeks, a lot of stuff is no longer relevant.
So for our producer's sake, this is going to be the start of the pitches, and the way I usually do this is
they're
just kind
actual
of
pitch.
mark each pitch as we go with the title, so we know what it is, and then we can go back through these after we're done and say, okay, which ones did we like, which ones are keepers. But yeah. All right.
God, what is
I'm ready.
Under the Bottom? Under the Bottom is
Under the Bottom is the response to Over the Top, right? I mean, it's just so
you go tickle the guy's balls.
yeah, tickle his bum under the table. Like, it's a risky move, right? Okay. So
Risky
Over the
move,
Top
high risk.
is a movie where I assume that Hawk has invented the over the top move, which is why it's so effective. And that the person who does it to him has actually just seen him do it to somebody else. So he invents it. He crushes that tournament with Over the Top. But the next year, when he comes back to try and win another truck,
Everybody's going over.
everybody's going over the top. And he sees that. He sees the first matchups over the top. He barely wins that first matchup because the guy goes over the top on him.
Because suddenly he's just the littlest guy at the competition that's got no secret
Right.
black belt maneuver. Okay.
So he's like behind the scenes, damn. And he's talking to his son like, I don't know if I got it this year, kid. I had my trick last time. I don't know about now. And his kid
Everyone's
says,
going over the top. Everyone's going over the top. There's no place for a guy like me. I flipped the switch. I got a black guy here.
and the whole time before the movie, I don't know, maybe it's like maybe the premise of this movie is like the kid actually did want to go with his grandfather, but Sly's trying to change his mind again. And the whole premise, like during the rest of the movie, because an over the top movie has to be like an hour of bullshit, and then the half hour of the actual tournament at the end is the cool part.
Yeah.
So earlier on, the kid's been telling him like, when they go high, you go low, right? He's trying to tell him, get him to like, they go high, you go low, and that's what he tells him in this moment where Sly's like, I don't know if I got it this year. It's like, Dad, they go high, you go low, and eureka, he has the idea of Under the Bottom.
He just because I can't help but notice these tables are just essentially elbow height, open
Right?
at the bottom. Like you could just kick the dude in the nuts.
You could.
Is that Under the Bottom? That's a disqualification, though, isn't it?
Well, it's got to be more subtle, right? I mean, that's the thing. You have to. So here's why the Under the Bottom move is risky, is because you have to let go. You know how they have the pegs on the board that you grab to like give you leverage with the other hand?
Oh,
You have to let go with that hand, get it under the table, and go for the bottom. Go under the bottom.
Go under the bottom.
But in that moment,
It's
you're
clear.
vulnerable, right? Because you don't have the leverage. All you have is the element of surprise.
You got the element of surprise and time. Like maybe you can time. Yeah, like when the guy's doing the over the top. When you see the fingers start, it's a timing thing. When you see the fingers start to shift, and you go, wha-pa, you
Right.
get the left out there, wha-pa.
Yeah.
I had a question, unrelated to anything. Are all arm wrestlers righties?
They can't be.
Because like
there has to be a
in
left-handed
boxing,
league.
you got a southpaw. But it's got to be a league. There can never be like a left-right championship. What would that even look like?
Somebody would be pushing backwards. That wouldn't work at all.
Backwards. That's a huge disadvantage. You do best out of best out of 3, and then you switch sides of it. I don't know. I thought that was because you got to have a dominant arm for over the topping. Sure.
Oh yeah, I bet there's a left-handed league.
Oh, I'm so pissed that I can't remember. Like just off the cuff, as soon as he said under bottom, like, well, that would mean, and I had no idea. It's probably punching him in the balls though.
Or maybe it's the opposite way. Maybe instead of like the fingers going over the top of their hand, they go underneath the hand somehow. So when they go over the top, it's a counter move, right? Like you get the thumb out, and under somehow.
It's some kind of judo move.
Yeah.
So they go over.
I can't.
Yeah.
Can't
How do you
do that
defeat
here.
that? How do you defeat that? Going under the bottom.
I like going under the bottom
Under
of the table.
Jimmy. Yeah, I
And
think
just,
under the bottom.
Pinch their ass or something, or tickle their taint.
It's a nut tap. Use nut tap. That's
Nut
all
tap.
you need.
Sure.
Nut tap. All you need. It's a quickness exercise. It's him getting his hand off the reinforced thing, coming down there, backhanding the guy's sack, and then like in a
slamming
blink
at
of
the
an
same
eye.
time.
It's like one of those Wild Wild West quick draw guys where it's just like it's like a pseudo motion. It's going so fast.
I can imagine the sound effect, right? It's like a whip sound that hits like just the center of a watermelon without the rind.
Right. And it doesn't have to like disable. It just has to give you that momentary ability to unshift over the top. They go over the top. You go under the bottom. Okay. So what's the other bullshit? Does he have full custody of his son?
He has full custody, but the son wants to go visit his grandfather.
I was thinking because it sucks. The kid's like, I have been cooped up in this truck for all year. Dad, I'm leaving you for Grandpa.
He's like, what's the matter? This one's got a bed.
But it's one bed, Dad.
Right.
I'm tired of you going over the top in the middle of the night. I can't breathe when you roll over me.
And it's filled with gym equipment. I can't even move with all of these mats and weights around.
Plates and plates of pig iron. I can't stand it. I'm cuddling up with a 5-gallon bucket of creatine. It's not a good scene, Dad. And he's gonna leave. And Sly thinks, the only way I keep this kid is win another tournament, and he's struggling.
That's the thing. So it's
even before he gets to the tournament.
Yeah, it's a road trip.
All the dive. Yeah, all the trucker hangouts. He sees everyone's over the topping now.
Oh yeah, he sees it. He knows what's waiting for him in Vegas this year. That's the thing, right? This is the road trip in the opposite direction, right? He brought his kid from school to his grandfather. I guess it'd be the same direction again, but or maybe they drove across the country. The kid got fed up, and now he's driving him back to his grandfather where the kid wants to stay. But he's got that span of time to convince him living in a truck isn't so bad. Living in a truck full of gym equipment is not so bad.
Because it's like, you're. It's not just last year's adventure. We're now learning under the bottom, and yeah. I don't know why you do the over the top 3 because this kid's not gonna fall for this again. It's exciting, you win the tournament. Everybody's carrying you on your shoulders. Then you rope him into another year of truck life, and
also where do you go?
Start high school eventually.
Once you go over the top and under the bottom, around the middle.
Through the middle, you just punch
through the middle.
It's like a Mortal Kombat move. It just punches through the guys, grabs his spine, and rips it out through the middle. It's a trilogy. It's a classic trilogy. Okay. If I can think of what under the bottom was, we might come revisit it. I like that. It's not bad. All right. Criminal Lucy, Jim. Criminal Lucy.
I immediately want to go to I Love Lucy as a criminal. You know that episode, the famous one, where the candies are coming down the line and it's her job to do something to them, but she ends up eating a whole bunch of them? Maybe.
Oh yeah, the factory where she's trying to
Uh-huh.
keep up with the belt. Yeah,
Maybe she's in prison, like stamping license plates, and it's the same thing. Like the license plates are coming down too fast for her. They're piling up. They're getting past her. She has
Can't
to eat a
stamp
bunch
'em.
of them, or she's
Eat
tucking.
license plates.
Sure, sure. Or she's tucking him into her clothes, her prison jumpsuit. Because where else? What else do you do with a license plate?
And this is a 1950s women's prison, so it's pretty sexist. And there's a guard that's always slapping her on the ass, and she can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she's got 2 stacks of plates back there,
Yeah,
one on each cheek, and he comes back for the mega slap, and it just like it implodes his hand, and
Yeah.
that's how she gets revenge.
and then the episode ends, and it's a one and done. It's a mini series of one episode.
Yeah, Lucy struggles. Lucy struggles through the women's prison system in the 1950s. Is it black and white or is it color?
I think it's black and white.
Okay.
And it's one of those
What is-
those endings where like you don't think about the consequences of what's just happened. It just kind of ends on a happy note, right? Even though that prison guard is going to sue, she's going to get more
yeah.
time. She's now spending 25 to life in there.
She assaulted that.
Right.
The guard.
But you don't think about all that. You just think about the
She
revenge
booby trapped her
got.
booty.
Yeah.
It's the same principle as if you booby trap the inside of your home, someone breaks in, it kills them. You'd think, well, hey, booby trapped work. No, you're actually on the hook, man. That's illegal. It's illegal.
Oh yeah.
intentionally
Kevin
hurt
goes to
somebody with a
prison
booby
in
trap.
Home Alone. After Home Alone 2, that's why he's
well,
not
if
in
he
the
doesn't,
others.
it's only because he's under 18 and he's a juvenile,
Right.
with no record.
Right.
But and 2, he's getting tried as an adult.
Yeah.
3, death penalty.
Mhm.
You can't do that shit. What's Ricky think?
Shit. Here's my weakness. I don't know much about I Love Lucy. I know that he says, "Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do," or whatever. But like,
explaining to do. Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
pretty
I
much
don't- I don't
it.
know.
That's all I know about Ricky.
She
in
comes
that.
home and she's got like
Ricardo.
embossed letters and numbers going on both sides of her ass, and he's like, "What?
Yeah.
What's?" But yeah, that's what you'd see in the 50s.
Sure, just a full-on ass shot of Lucille Ball. Yeah, that's what you'd see with a bunch of letters stamped across it.
Yeah. Vanity plates on her ass. What do you? Okay, so that's. Do you have any other? Do we have anything that we need to? Because I've got an alternate pitch.
Yes, let's go for the alternate pitch.
All right, my alternate pitch is there is a Vice Squad so specialized that they only involve themselves in psychedelic drugs or trafficking.
Okay, is this the
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, LSD, Criminal Lucy.
the LEA, the LSD
The Lucy
Enforcement Agency, Lucy Enforcement Agency. Yeah,
Leah. Yeah, that's what their name is.
LSDEA.
LSDA, the lysergic something acid
Yeah.
something department of I don't know. It's Criminal Lucy, and they only care about prosecuting people that are using psychedelic drugs.
Okay. How?
It's Don Johnson. And he's addicted to acid himself. He has to be.
He has to be, yeah. And
I wanna
he has gone so far down the fucking shit, all this Huxley hole that he now can like essentially smell crime, right? Like he trips and he observes crimes that are about to happen with LSD.
He's got precog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I also want to make this like the dumbest kind of reefer madness. Like just he's going to get addicted to acid, like, and he's going to get, just keep taking larger and larger doses until like, there's got to be a line where it's like, for me, tripping is going sober, like he's so fucked up that like actual life is strange to him. The, pink elephants on parade, connecting with the cosmos, communing with the gods of geometry. That shit is just like, yeah, that's
I like that this could be like Roger Rabbit, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit in its style. So like when he's tripping, it's just like cartoon life, right? What was that? There
his
was a
criminal
show like that
informant is some
recently.
kind of spirit guide that he visits on Peyote.
Yes.
It's like some kind of animated Aztec-looking coyote that's like, hey, I've heard there's guys moving ayahuasca over the border.
Okay. Okay. This is great. This is a great setup. All right. Here's how I think we
It's
should
probably
start.
super offensive to indigenous peoples that your spirit guides, huge narcs, turns out.
Yeah,
They're not
totally.
cool with the spirit trips. They just want to chill in the spirit plane. Y'all corporeal motherfuckers are coming and bothering them. Super
True.
offensive. Sorry in advance.
Here's how I think
What
we should start this show. I think Don Johnson should be just like a cop who gets promoted to the LSDEA, and he's pretty straight laced, right? But he gets into the LSDEA, and he gets with a bad partner, right? Who's like telling him, "Look, man, the way I find this crime, you're never gonna find this crime unless you take a hit."
His partner, Tabs.
Tabs?
Is his nickname? Tubbs. That was his Tubbs.
Okay.
Was his partner. It's Tabs.
I don't know anything about whatever fucking show
I know
that
just
was.
enough to be dangerous. Thank God.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Tabs.
he starts off and like he's wearing a traditional 3-piece like establishment FBI suit. And then the first hits, socks come off. He's not wearing socks no more. Those suits are going to turn lighter and lighter linen.
Miami Vice.
More and more pastel, less and less tie. Yeah, as he's
I love
fully into the criminal Lucy life. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets promoted, and his partner says, "Look, man, you can't find these crimes without taking a hit. You got to take a hit.
You got to,
right?" And so he's like resistant to it, but then eventually he does. And
you're gonna try to beat them at their own game, and you're not even playing.
Right. And the first time he does it, like to go into the Reefer Madness stuff, he just like goes off the deep end, right? He does it one time. Suddenly he mortgages his house. He loses his car. Like all the bad shit that can happen to you in life happens to him on the first day.
Yeah, it's psychosis, deep psychosis. Yeah.
Right. And now his only hope to get his life back is to become the best LSDEA agent he can. And so he goes deep. He goes deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah, he's robo tripping. He is just everything you can take. Bath salts.
Oh yeah.
That might actually be criminal behavior there.
I mean, he's balancing it all out,
you know,
right? Like
right.
LSD, you get a little too whacked out on LSD. You got to bring it back down with some weed. Then you end up, too far into the couch. You got to get some uppers. You got to get some meth. You got to get PSP.
Also,
PCP
I also love. We also have to get the scenes like in Justified. Favorite scenes in Justified is like Raylan rolls up and there's like a mountain of coke on the tables. I don't care about the drugs. I'm just looking for my fugitive. Like he's same things. Like I don't care about the coke. I don't care about the heroin. I don't care about the fentanyl. I want your tabs.
Yeah.
I want to know who's moving tabs across the border. You guys can keep your fucking heroin. I just want to. It's out there killing people. We get one touch of that criminal Lucy. They lose their fucking minds. It's called Lucy because they Lucy mind. You're Lucy mind.
Because you're Lucying your mind.
Yeah. Because he's got a thick German accent.
Sure.
Don Johnson can do that, right?
Oh, I'm sure he can. Don Johnson
Danzig Johnson?
An actor's actor.
What's the okay, so what's the season finale hook? What's better than LSD? There's a new super shroom that's on the
super shrooms.
He's uncovered a super shroom, and there is a nationwide plot with the nefarious Papa John to put him on all the nation's pizzas and destroy the fabric of society.
This is like some old school Batman shit right here.
Criminal Lucy's going to be delivered to your door in 15 minutes or less. You're going to dip it in garlic butter, and you're going to lose your mind forever.
Yeah.
These are
maybe
weapons grade.
And maybe when you call up Papa John's and you say like, make it a Papa's, that's how you get the pizza with the super shrooms delivered. And so he like discovers.
No, they're going to give They're going to give it's like putting Smilex in the water supply. Everyone, you're going to get a fucking pizza with mushrooms on it.
How do you get the entire population to order Papa John's pizza? Because I know there are a lot of people who won't.
Let me ask you this. If right now a Papa John's pizza arrived at your door and you're like, I didn't order pizza. Like, I'm sorry, it's fully paid for. Are you not going to eat that pizza?
I would eat it. Yeah. Unless it has pineapple on it.
And season 2 is all about like, and like, will he stop it? And if he doesn't, like a season 2, like it's just like almost a Walking Dead. Like the only populace that survives are the people that just naturally can't stand mushrooms on pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else is just out in the streets raving, foaming like rage virus.
And he's one of those
people. He
people,
could go that or he could
right?
save the day.
Ironically, he does not like shrooms on his pizza.
He doesn't like shrooms on his pizza, and of course the villain Papa John straps him down, tries to force it through his mouth, but through the whole season of leveling up and doing all the fucking hallucinogens that he has, he's developed enough of immunity that he can tank through it. The guy thinks he's dead. His heart stops. He goes into comatose. They leave him dead in the back of a Papa John's.
Yeah, but he's just gone to another plane of existence.
30 minutes later, he's like...
Yeah.
And he comes in, it's like, yeah. He's still seeing Technicolor and all that
Looks
shit.
into the camera. That was the best trip of my life. Yeah.
It's Criminal Lucy. Season 2 coming back on Apple TV.
Or maybe he's done so many other drugs, so much meth at that point, that like his jaw is just this iron trap that they can't open. So he's like, for grinding his teeth, they just can't open his mouth to stick the shrooms.
Force me to eat anything, you sons of bitches! I got lockjaw so bad. Yeah. He's grinding his teeth all the time. Okay, Criminal Lucy, not bad. Hold on a second. Let me get an eye on the calendar here because I do need to know when we do have to knock off.
Everybody gets an eye on the calendar. Peep that calendar, folks. Look at all that shit.
So we can go to 2:30. 2:30 is when we would stop pitching.
Okay.
Bonanza Impossible.
So I think this idea was, what if there was a Western cowboy type show, but there were
secret
spies.
Agent. Yeah.
Which I've never seen. I think this is actually an interesting idea, not just a funny one.
Well, it's the Wild Wild West, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that something that they were like federal, like some kind of secret federal agents? But that was more sci-fi. This is like this is going to be like fucking rawhide, man.
Sure.
I don't want mechanical spiders.
No.
I don't want spring-loaded saw blade guns. I don't want any of that shit.
I want to do with Mission Impossible what Westworld did with sci-fi in their cowboys, right? That's what I want.
All right. So what is the? Because here's the thing: is I don't know shit about Bonanza.
I don't either.
So is that a problem, or do we just like make it a generic?
Yeah, I think we make it a generic cowboy.
What is the secret agent stuff they can get up to?
I mean, generic spy stuff is generic spy stuff, right? Just like counterintelligence and shit like that.
Who are they countering intelligence? Like, I'm trying to think.
That's the thing. What's the setup of this thing? Is it like two rival towns competing for the same claim on a gold mine or something?
Yeah, because these are in uncharted territories.
Yeah.
There's two. Yeah, there's like they're trying to stop. Maybe this doesn't have as much legs as I thought. Because like spies involve like foreign, like what are they going to do? Like be infiltrating different Native American tribes? And, and steal? Like no, I don't. That's like that's some bad guy shit. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But it's like implicit. So it's like you'd have to settle disputes between like claim jumps and whatnot, or is like the evil Spaniards trying to move into New Mexico, or the evil French Canadians are trying to move across the St. Lawrence. Or I don't know. Maybe this isn't as cool as I thought it would be. Because I'm like, to me, Mission Impossible is all about your mission. Should you choose to accept it, what does that look like? Like, does a telegram explode as soon as it's received?
No, I think the person who handed it to you takes it back and puts it into a spittoon.
All
Yeah.
right, I'm starting to think I got nothing for this, actually.
All right.
All right, that fizzled. It sometimes happens. Fa- Father knows Ironside. Father knows Ironside. You think you had a pitch for this?
Yeah. So Michael Ironside is, I don't know what he is in the show. But you know Michael Ironside.
Sure, I know Michael Ironside.
He goes
Michael
around
Ironside is a friend of mine.
doing a lot of terrible things, and then has to confess him to his priest. But what does the priest do with that information? That's what I want to know. I was thinking maybe, because Michael Ironside is a celebrity, I was thinking maybe the priest is selling that information to the tabloids, and so this is like, and so Michael Ironside suspects him, but he doesn't know because he's told actually other people about these things, and people were there with him when he was doing these things. So he's trying to like canary trap these people into figuring out who is giving information to the tabloids.
What's the hook here is that he's told slightly different versions of the story to everybody.
Well, I mean, the setup is just going to be he's done these things and they've leaked to the tabloids. Who leaked them? And then, yes, he's going to have to devise ways to do it. And a canary trap is a very easy way to do that.
Does he
So
go
it might be
priests?
a limited
Is he confessing
miniseries?
multiple priests, and he's trying to figure out which one is the one that is burning him?
No, I was just thinking like there are people who were there with him when he did these acts, right? So one of them might have leaked the information. There are like confidants he has in his life other than the priest, like maybe a spouse.
But we as the
or
audience
friends.
watching the show will know from the beginning it's the priest doing it.
Yeah.
The drama is Michael Ironside figuring it out because obviously Father knows Ironside.
But he doesn't suspect the
we're
priest.
gonna-
Like he truly believes that the priest would never betray him.
He's
right?
the least suspected.
Yeah.
He's got a close personal relationship with his father.
Right. And he has to be like played by somebody who's super trustworthy. Who would that be? Like Tom Hanks. Like Tom Hanks playing his kindliest old man. His Fred Rogers essentially is the priest in this. And Michael Ironside just can't refuse. And he's being told, by everybody, look, I didn't leak this, right? Who else did you tell? And he's like, no, I told this person was there. I told my priest, but the priest would never do it. And he's like, yeah, the priest is the one, man. And Michael just doesn't want to believe it.
You got to worry about it. Yeah, he's the one. And it's the blind spot leaves him wide open.
Right.
What?
But there is a super easy solution, right? You canary trap the fool.
You canary trap him,
it's super easy, but maybe it's just a movie.
See, I thought it was something like here's my pitch. It's something like The Seventh Seal. Michael Ironside, old man, veteran of many Hollywood movies, including Top Gun, goes to try to get into heaven.
Okay.
And St. Peter is there at the pearly gates, and he's smooth talking his way in because I guess Michael Ironside's real shit. Maybe should go to hell. And the Catholic priest that was a confidant for all of his years died recently. He's up there waiting, and he's got receipts.
God damn, he's got a whole scroll just full of shit.
Each episode is Michael Ironside going back like Quantum Leap style into a previous experience of his.
Love it.
And you've got like
is Quantum Leaping into himself?
It kind of. I mean, I'm saying just like to get he's like going back and he's re-experiencing, and he is trying to essentially, or maybe it's like a Wonderful Life where he and this father and Saint Peter are like looking at this vignette of his former life, and they're like seeing him do things as a child, as a young man, and he's trying to explain like, this isn't this big of a sin, or actually this was in service of a greater good. And the father, and like maybe the father only knows half the situation. Maybe sometimes he's right, maybe sometimes he's wrong. And the cliffhanger at the lift is, will Michael Ironside get in heaven?
I love the Quantum Leap angle. Like he has to go back and fix the mistake that he made, right?
If there is yeah, I wonder if like there's an element of that. Like some of the episodes he's vindicated, some of the episodes he's not, and he has to
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
He has to do penance. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
funny or interesting. That just sounds like something I would watch in the 80s. Like that's like my like if Michael Landing is Saint Peter, you're there. You got Michael Ironside, you need a priest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Al was the funny part of that show, right? It wasn't Sam who was the funny one. It was Al. He'd be in there with sarcastic comments. So you need somebody really good as the Saint Peter or whoever is like accompanying him through these
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that one's good.
Willem Dafoe. Can we get Willem Dafoe as the angel accompanying him through his history?
Wow. Wow. That certainly is a satanic Lucifer type figure, sure. I don't know if it saves the pitch though. This pitch seems like it's just
The
it's something you can get
situations.
made on the Hallmark Channel right now.
The situations might save the pitch. I don't know. Like, what are some of the sins he's committed that he has to
okay,
fix?
okay.
Because you know, I mean, half of it is about the characters, but half of it is about the situation that they're in. So
In third grade, he took 2 pieces of cake before everyone in class had one.
seems
But it
easily
turns
solved.
out-
It's just take one piece of cake this time.
It turns out one kid was diabetic.
Yeah, grossly diabetic.
And Ironside knew if he knew he couldn't resist the sugar, and he knew that if he did, it'd kill him.
Yeah.
So he took the public shame of being a greedy little pig boy to save, not even his friend. It's just it's a kid that everyone picked on. But he's and then he's like looking at the father, and the angel, is like, well, this seems like it's pretty selfless behavior, Ironside. And yeah, all right, there's one.
All right. Michael Ironside was walking down the street one day when he was in his 20s. And for no apparent reason, he shoves a small child into traffic.
Okay.
And the child is hit by the car and dies. And
Oh, shit. Okay.
yeah. And the entire time, I mean, you see that scene, you're like, there's nothing good that could have come of this. But it turns out we're seeing it from the wrong angle, and the resolution to it is we see it from the other angle. He has to go find an innocent bystander who is watching from across the street, and then Michael or St. Peter, whoever, gets their POV, and it turns out that child was Hitler, and we know because he has a Hitler mustache.
Okay. All right. That's that's ends justify the means type of thing. I was actually
yeah.
going. My next pitch was going to be like he pushes an old lady down in the middle of the sidewalk and then runs off. But you actually find out that old lady sniper had a beat on her.
Yeah.
The Texas clock tower massacre guy had that, and she was going to be his first victim, but he missed. And then killed a bunch of other people because fuck.
And then killed himself.
Apparently.
No, just killed
And
himself.
then the priest
He
is like, "What
realized
about the
he's a
other people,
failure.
Michael? You saved the old lady, but you didn't say any." No.
He
I
tried.
don't know if this has legs.
I don't know.
Trying to think of other like petty sins he could have committed that.
He stole money from the church donation pot, whatever they call it. I can't think of the
Basket, right?
yeah, the basket, whatever. But he took that money later and he gave it to a homeless person because he knew that this mega church was actually corrupt, and this guy was going to spend it on another jet.
Yeah, he's Robin Hood in him. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the structure of the show. I don't know if it's a funny pitch. Or if it,
Don't think it's funny. Yeah.
Well, let's move on then. Planet of the Texas Ranger. I feel like it should have echo effect, like planet of the Texas Rangers. So my envision of this is Charlton Heston is going to crash land on a planet populated entirely by Texas Rangers.
Is this
And it's
is it Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston? Like that era?
Yes.
Okay.
That era. He's young and virile. And he is and this is like the Green Lantern Corps. Anytime you see the Green Lantern Corps, it's like there is every shape, size, sexual orientation race, gender expression, alien culture of Texas Ranger. The only thing is they all have that big old star. They got that Texas Ranger star pinned to their, and they all wear whatever the duster equivalent is. They all wear dusters, and they all are capable of roundhouse kicking.
Yeah, it's kind of their go-to move.
And on this planet, okay, go back. Okay, so what would happen to Planet Apes? Charlton Heston, because he's not a Texas Ranger, they don't trust him. He's criminal.
Yeah.
And they're rounded up into cages. I mean, this is like Planet
They're
of the Apes.
roundhoused up.
Like, yeah, they're just they're on the face of it. This is all illegal activity because they're not Texas Rangers. If they were law-abiding citizens, they'd be Texas Rangers.
All of their jails are roundhouses.
What are they? The roundhouse of justice.
Yeah.
The round halls of justice. What is the crucial scene at the end that blows Charlton Heston's mind? What is there? Is there a Texas landmark? Is it the Cowboy Stadium that's like half buried in sand, and he realizes that he's been in Texas this whole time? This isn't. Yeah, this is that he hasn't gone to.
This is what happened to Texas after they seceded. Yeah.
He landed in Texas in 2032. Yeah. Yeah. Ted Cruz has had his way. He's going there. He's going to lead successfully a succession from the United States.
I mean, it's perfect because
bucket builds a wall to protect us from Texas.
Their power grid immediately fails, and they're cast into.
Because all these enforcement mechanisms, to like all these laws they've been passing in Texas, like pro-life, anti-abortion stuff, is all like essentially has the citizenry have to inform on itself.
There you
so
go.
Everyone is deputized as a Texas Ranger in Texas.
Right. Joe Rogan's now a Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger, Joe Rogan, Texas Ranger. Yep. Yep.
And he's great at roundhouse kicks, I got to imagine. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but he's in shape.
He'd rather take it to the ground, though.
For sure. For sure. But he can throw a roundhouse kick if he needs to.
He can throw a roundhouse kick.
You know who else can throw a roundhouse kick? Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is one of the Texas Rangers.
Chris Pratt is an ideal Texas Ranger. Yep. Yeah. I agree with that. We really lost rooting in Texas. Really lost the alien thing, though. I feel like in 2032, I don't believe that they would have full blown aliens.
Well, it's not necessarily that they're aliens, right? Like when Texas doesn't do anything small, right? They go big on everything. True. So when they seceded, they began a project to carve Texas off of the earth and become its own planet. So that's what happened.
They're going to commandeer the Space Center in Houston, and they're going to have them affix Saturn V booster rockets underneath the native soil of Texas, and they're going to lift the Lone Star State into the heavens where it belongs.
Right.
Yeah. And is Charlton Heston trying to foil that plan or accelerate it?
I think he just finds himself in Texas, and it's the hell that Planet of the Apes is. How he got there, I don't know. Maybe he was.
Planet of the Apes hell is just hell for people. That's the thing.
True.
I don't know if it's hell. It's just hell for people. Okay. Planet of the Texas Ranger?
That
seems like
pitched.
Yeah. All right, here's another one. Another gym specialty. Bosom Impossible. Bosom?
I love this one.
Bosom, right?
Yeah, bosom. Like bosom buddies, except we're going a little more literal with this one. Here's my pitch for Bosom Impossible. Have you seen the movie The Phantom Thread?
I have seen The Phantom Thread.
Okay. For people who haven't, it's Daniel Day-Lewis playing a tailor, one of the best tailors in the Empire, the Queen's Empire, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a well-renowned tailor, can make any dress, make them beautifully, but he now has what is, in my opinion, an impossible mission. It's to prepare a dress for Christina Hendricks that will, for her to walk down the red carpet at a premiere event for one of her new movies that will both be revealing and sexy, and yet not prone to
structurally
wardrobe
sound.
malfunctions. Right.
Yeah.
And you came up with the best name for Daniel Day-Lewis's character, just Double D Lewis.
He'll be credited as Double D for this role, sure.
Double D
That's how
Lewis.
committed he is to the part.
Right.
Legally changes his name to Double D Lewis.
Sure. I don't have a pitch beyond the setup. I don't know where this goes. I don't
That's
know
exactly what I'm afraid of.
the crazy places this could go, because the whole movie is just going to be him. I don't know. So in Phantom Thread, like, there's this whole affair angle.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. Could you do that with him and Christina Hendricks? Like, he's making this dress for her, but she's the perfect
Is it literally
model.
impossible? There's nothing, like, there's just no way, like, if he's like, there's not material science.
Yeah.
The design of this dress is too revealing and too sexy to be structurally sound, and he becomes aware of the fact that, and he loves her so much he doesn't want to see her humiliated on the red carpet.
And he's seen the
gotta,
dress that Jessica Chastain's going to wear that year, and he has to outdo her. Yeah.
Not nearly as many structural challenges.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like this is a dangerous one.
It is. Yeah. They don't call him Danger Day Lewis for no reason.
It's not called Bosom Possible.
No.
Bosom Easily Accomplished. Bosom Walk in a Park.
And maybe the red carpet premiere event is the failure that sets up the rest of the movie, right? Maybe there is a wardrobe malfunction on the first premiere, and Double D Lewis says, just give me another chance. I can do this. You know, he created the dress for her for the first premiere. It exploded open while the photographers were shooting. He wants another shot, and she's reluctant. She doesn't know if she should give him another shot.
All right. We've reached time.
Shit. We have.
I don't know if that one is any good. I don't know.
I
feel like
so.
we had a couple good pitches.
Uh-huh.
A couple good pitches in there. And then it kind of fell apart. But we'll see. We still have a lot more pitches to consider. But yeah, that'll do it for now. We got to do For All Mankind feedback.
All right, let's switch back over to the other
regular
chat.
view.
Yeah.
Bloop.
Oh, did you get smaller? How'd you get smaller? Or did you just slouch?
I get smaller. I might have slouched. I am slouching.
Sloucha.
It's in the slouch when I'm in pitch mode.
All right. That could be fixed.
Just, so quip.
It's better.
Oh shit! I got to reopen that.
And we got feedback.
Alina had a brilliant pitch for we missed it. Like the reason they could have gotten to space by igniting the vast gas and oil reserves under Texas in there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe as a part of their insane plot to like install rocket engines down there, it all goes. Or they want to lift Texas into space to get at all those valuable resources.
Right.
That'd be a cool addition to the pitch too.
They just let a siphon go like tail off of their chunk of land.
Yeah.
Siphon up the pool of oil
like a
that
space
remains.
elevator. There's going to be Texas is going to float in geosynchronous orbit with the Earth. There I go.
Siphoning up all their oil.
Siphoning up all.
Although
their
then
oil,
there's
those
a
sons of bitches.
pitched legal battle. You know, they've abandoned Earth. They've seceded. They've taken their land. Who does the oil belong to, right?
That's true. That's true. The sovereign nation of Texas went to space.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'm going to stop recording.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did a long time ago. I missed all that stuff.
I did before we started pitching. Okay. It's time for All Mankind, right?
It is time. I'm copying this file over real quick.
Here's the scary thing. I've seen an episode that no one else has seen.
I know. We need a 5-second delay so I can panic button something where when you say
Karen dies.
Didn't
caught
Ellen,
in the blast of a retro rocket.
Didn't President Ellen get Manchurian candidate and she gunned down half of Senate at her? Yeah, I could be like, damn it, Jim, that's in episode 4. You got to take a
Danny
step
slept
back.
with Ed. It was a whole thing.
Danielle.
Okay, both of them. Both of the Dannys slept with Ed.
It was a three. It was a double Danny Ed off. Oh, Jesus.
We should do that as a series. We should rewrite episodes that just aired.
Just do like low budget porn editions of them. Porn all mankind.
They don't all have to be porn, but sure.
You know, like I don't think they still do this. This is a casualty of the Gonzo internet porn era, but they don't really do like sex parodies of all the latest movies like they used to.
Right? Now you just get like cam girls doing cosplay of video game characters, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the story,
Samus
damn it?
Aran finally takes off her Zero suit.
Right, the real Zero suit, sure.
Where's the drama? Where's the dialogue?
Yeah.
No one cares anything about lighting or makeup in this. It's just, the magic's gone.
Oh, I need to close this thread or this post on Patreon so nobody else can post new things.
Slash fiction authors. I could write steamy fanfic.
It sells, man. There are people who make
It
their
does.
livings on Amazon just writing like 30-page fanfic sex posts. I don't get it.
I seriously thought I actually I gave some thought a few years back about just when I saw that happening. I'm like, I can write fucking smut. I can probably write really good smut, and make it. It doesn't. It's It was an idea I had. It was an idea I had. I just feel like it's one of those things where once the first 4 or 5 are pretty easy, and then you really run out of ideas on how to describe sex acts that gets people to gets people up in the morning. Let's put it that way.
I just do a bunch of sequels.
Especially since the vast majority of the consumers, I think, are women. So you'd have the,
pink mask. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the heaving bosoms and the turgid members and the thrusting engorged. You have to. Yeah, it has to be all flowery.
The fat pink mask.
It doesn't have to be. Maybe I should read some of these the raunchy things to see. Maybe it's a lot more slam bam than I think it is.
I mean, some of them are, I'm sure.
Pink mask. Oh my god.
Fat pink mask. Disgusting.
It's fat pink. Yeah, fucking George Martin can do it.
I bet he is one of those authors. That's what he's been doing instead of writing Winds of Winter.
Oh my god.
Writing smut stories on Amazon.
Fat pink mask and Murish Swamp / fic.
That's a story I'd like to pitch. What about the dragons? That'd be the title. That'd be the title of my
Bad Dragons.
Yeah, bad dragons. Dude, we kind of need to pitch this we should write this down.
All right, I'm going to throw Bad Dragons on the pitch list.
Yeah, George refuses to write Winds of Winter, instead focusing on his smut career.
Okay.
That one's a good one.
Oh my god. Oh, Dream of Spring spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I dream of springy.
Yeah. All right. Shit, what are we doing? Oh, For All Mankind.
I honestly don't know. Yeah, For All Mankind feedback.
And I was trying to edit the post for this thing. But now I can't find it. I really don't like how Patreon does their post lists. I can't search. I can't... I have to scroll super far to go back in time here. It's ridiculous.
To do what?
To find posts, there's no way to search for a post that you made on Patreon.
What are you trying to search for?
Go back through the Patreon, Quit Your Pitching topic post. It's gone. It's gone. What's happening?
Oh, we didn't even get to any of those. We need to schedule some quips for because it'll probably take us a couple more recordings before we get the episode, a couple episodes worth.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited about some of these pitches too that we didn't get to. Okay, file, new, multi-track, browse, podcast for all mankind, select folder, FAM, SO3, EO3, EO1 through O3, feedback. Okay. Gotta close the quit your pitching stuff. Vicky just caught you subscribing to Twitch Prime for 38 fucking months.
Wow.
Been doing this Twitch. It feels like I always feel like we're pretty new on Twitch, but then I see stuff like that and Michelle and like, holy shit, we've been doing this a long time.
It only feels like that because nobody watches our Twitch.
Yeah.
We have like 8 viewers.
How many on YouTube? That's a real question. No. We got 29 combined viewers. Are you kidding me?
Great. Perfect. I
My
see
son would
31 over on here.
Kill for this audience.
It's cool. The Restream chat window in OBS shows me how many combined views we have. So that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see when we do this tomorrow night with the live watch stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch is clearly the superior experience there, but some people will probably tune in on YouTube.
Yeah, the people wouldn't otherwise. Or the people are going to sync up manually anyway. Sorry. I don't know why I'm tired. I don't feel tired. I've been staying up real late the last couple nights reading Player of the Game, the book 2 in the Culture series by Ian M. Banks. Pretty good. Funny. Very funny book, too. I wasn't expecting how funny it was.
Interesting. All right, man. Are you ready to get to this podcast?
I am ready to get to
minutes.
this podcast.
Okay.
So this is, if you are not caught up through episode 3 of For All Mankind, might want to skedaddle because that's the feedback we're going to be covering. I'm ready to hit the record button. If you're ready to play us in.
I just hit it.
Do it, coward.
All right. This is the one that always trips me up. Officially unofficial For All Mankind podcast on Apple TV. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to Hi Bob, the officially unofficial For All Mankind podcast on Apple TV Plus. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we're back for the season 3, let's say the first season 3 feedback episode. It covers everything from episode 1 through episode 3, because that's where you guys currently are. I'm going to have a little trouble with this one. I've seen the next episode. Hopefully,
we both have.
People won't be able to tell because I won't slip up and reveal spoilers, but
right.
We'll see.
And there's I was looking for that in the feedback. Like, is there going to be something, the temptation or some confusion? I don't think there's going to be.
Okay. Cool.
I definitely, I don't know, maybe we should cut this whole out because like I don't know if we should prime the audience with like, we might spoil the shit out of you.
I'm gonna oh Jesus. Yeah,
anyway,
that's fine. We can cut it.
We have a decent amount of feedback. We had a lot more, but what it was when I started cutting everything together, a lot of stuff that people speculated, you know, like I had, if I'd sent in my message after seeing episode 1, I think Danny broke his fucking back with one of those lethal space cables. I would be looking at egg on my face in the next episode, and he's just walking around, not even injured.
Yeah.
He took that cable like a champ. So, like, a lot of stuff like that happened where people are speculating that we're building on speculation like Danny's going to be a paraplegic or he's going to do this, or he's going to do that. So, obviously, those got cut. But we still have a fair amount of feedback, and we're going to try to get... It's kind of like a fluke why it's been so long since we got the feedback on For All Mankind, because it was like a combination of... being gone on vacation and recording things in advance because of that. It just kind of bad timing all around. But anyway, we're here. If you'd like to send us feedback to get on future shows, FAM@baldmove.com, FAM@baldmove.com is where you send the D-mails. I think is what they're calling him in the show.
Mm-hmm.
D-mail. Digital mail. Sean Bon Jovi says, I was over the moon, haha, when you guys jumped on a full, it says fam, the full Alchemist Metal, the For All Mankind bandwagon last year. I can't wait to see what this season has in store for us. Just wanted to chime in with a couple of observations.
Okay.
It's interesting to see how they're going to continue to adapt to the aging makeup. I think Danielle looks great. Ed's is decent, but they don't look like they did a thing to Danny to age him up 10 years. It'd be interesting to see if they have this kid or Jimmy or Kelly's actors back in future seasons, as well as how they keep aging them. It's true that Danny, amongst being a psycho, a real dyed-in-the-wool psycho, has a baby face.
He's an ageless psycho.
But that's the thing. Like, I feel like that guy could age 10 years and you wouldn't know. You know, it's like, I don't think they did much in the way of aging Ed up in the first 2 seasons, right? Like sometimes you can just kind of get away with it.
I feel like you can get away with it easier in like from your 20s to like your 30s. But when you're trying to age up like a 17-year-old to be 27, there's like a body change that happens during that time that's hard to replicate, I imagine, right? You just like, you fill in a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that'd be a really hard makeup job to do, especially when the guy you've casted is already that age, and you're playing him younger, and then like he's just supposed to look the age he is now. Yeah, it's strange. But
I wonder how old the actual actor is, Casey Johnson. I wonder how old he is in real life.
I don't know.
I could probably look that up.
I assume he's in his mid to late 20s.
Could be.
Here's the other person that I think they're doing a really good job with is Aleda. She has like, they're just doing it with like hair type stuff and clothing.
Right.
And they've done a really good job aging her up from believably into like her late 20s, early 30s, maybe.
I did see something because I read Alan Sepinwall's review and he's seen the whole season. I haven't seen, the whole season. He does. He in his review has something he mentioned that like the aging makeup is a little spotty or inconsistent over the season. But I imagine it's hard. It's hard to make people that are in their 30s look like they're believably in their 50s.
Yeah.
And people in their 20s look. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially as we continue to go on. Like, are you ready to see Joel Kinnaman as a 70-year-old?
I am. He's gonna look like Clint Eastwood, right? That's just who he's gonna age into.
Yeah, pretty beef jerky.
He's just gonna get more and more chicken skin, and yeah.
I don't know. I guess anyone that's problematic to make up, they do a makeup test every year, and whoever doesn't look good in the next era, that's who's gonna bite it on the Mars mission.
Yeah.
Chantel Van Patine or Satine, whatever. It's like, you're gonna have a terrible microwaving accident in Houston. It's gonna go real bad for you. Sean Bon Jovi continues, loving the alternate timeline montage. I'm really looking forward to seeing more butterfly effects. I hope that we learn about Chernobyl in this world. Given their shift to nuclear energy, fusion, fission notwithstanding, I wonder if things played out differently and why. Hoping for a great season. Looking forward to the coverage. I don't remember if last year was in, because like Chernobyl happened, I think, in '86.
And we're well past that now.
This either because of the increase in technology and maybe increased cooperation between East and West never happened, or it happened immediately after last season, and it's just shit, we didn't talk about Chernobyl every fucking day in 1995 back in the day. So it could have just been one of those epoch events that got missed. I don't know.
And it's hard to do, just like it's hard to prove a negative, right? Or sometimes impossible. It's hard to tell you about an event that didn't happen, not happening. Like, what do they say? Chernobyl's still humming along just perfectly. No problems whatsoever on the news. Why would they do that?
Model City Chernobyl still going strong in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Gregory's up next. I only just finished watching the preview pod or listening to the preview pod. Forgive me if you've already been informed, but here's an interview with Ron Moore that was released close to the end of last season where he says they have a potential 7-year plan for the show.
Nice.
So this was from Inverse.com. This guy sat down and talked to Ronald Moore, and I got this is a direct quote. The guy asked him if there is a plan beyond season 2 and for plans for season 3, and he goes, "There is such a plan. There's originally a 7-year arc of structure that we pitched originally. Each season would go roughly 10 years into the future, so you catch up to the modern day and go a little bit into the future. That would have mean like season 6 would be roughly 2020 to 2020s, and then you'd have one more season kind of beyond. That said, of course, these things are changeable and organic. We approach each season fresh, even though we have a big framework of what next season is supposed to be. While we always start at the beginning and say, okay, this is what we talked about 2 years ago. Let's make sure this still holds up. Is this still where we want to go? So you could come to a point where you decide to end the show at a certain point, or you can decide that the show is going gangbusters and you want to go past the end point. Everything's still on the table. But the plan was always to go into the future and catch up and see where the world we live in today would look like. How would it be different in this timeline? I think that's a fascinating roadmap. In this interview, they were also talking about the fact that Moore, I'm not sure if he got out of a Sony deal, but he has been signed to a massive Disney deal, and there was hints of the fact that this would kind of divide his attention. And he, at the time of this interview, was saying he's fully involved in season 3. I wonder if that will continue to be the case, and I wonder if Moore does get shifted more to the Disney side, if the storytelling will suffer.
Or the storytelling on the Disney side will improve. Maybe it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, no, I really liked the way Ron Moore tells a story. Liked his storytelling through Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek and all those things. I don't know. I mean, I've seen writers' rooms lose their creative inspiration. I mean, or their creative godfather, let's say, like Vince Gilligan kind of left Better Call Saul, and that show's chugging right along as what it was when he was there. So,
but he's second in command. Took
right.
What's his name?
Yeah, Peter Gould.
Gould, yeah,
the Gould. So I'm hoping that there's someone in the writers' room there who takes that mantle from Ron Moore and can keep, the tone and feel of For All Mankind, because I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, like I said, I've seen shows that lose their showrunner early and it falls apart.
Sure.
I'm thinking like American Gods especially is the one that jumps out at me. I think Daredevil suffered from that a little bit too. I think that's the same guy. I think yeah, American Gods and
he only likes the beginning
Daredevil.
Of things.
Yeah, he only does. It's like, I got the first season out. You guys got it. Just keep painting in the lines. But I don't know. Because like the other thing is like, we do put a premium on showrunners, but the reality is any show, especially one that's already established, is going to be a lot about the writer's room and that kind of pool of talent, putting their stuff together. It's nice to have a unified person on top, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I would love to see 7 seasons of this. That's the other thing is like, will Apple... I'm not sure, because Apple's so new, Apple Plus, I don't know whether they would be like the Netflix type that just like cut and run at the first sign of ratings drop, or they're going to be more like the HBO where it's like, well, this has maybe a small and dwindling but still passionate audience and we owe them a conclusion to something, because oh my God, if this gets expansed, like at the end of season 4 or 5, I'm going to be wroth. Yeah,
that would suck. I'm really loving the idea of getting a little bit past our current day. I mean, we're about to be past our current day in this season, right? If they land on Mars, like boots on Mars, that's past our current day tech. So like,
oh yeah, you're
in another 40 years, you're talking about interstellar stuff pretty much, right? Like,
well, I mean, you're definitely at they talk about the moons of Jupiter and Saturn.
Sure, you got Venus.
So
you can explore.
I imagine there's like there might be a gold rush in the asteroid belt. That would be kind of interesting. Like all the and then now private space flight. You've got like wildcatters from Russia and China and the United States trying out there, and like maybe there's actual space force trying to. Who knows how the fuck things could go? But that's where I'm thinking like you'd have a season with the asteroid belt, a season with the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, and then maybe. God, can you imagine like a 2030s where they were trying to send an interstellar mission? It just doesn't.
Like a generation
like have to get
ship?
a lot sci-fi. Yeah.
But a generation ship is one of those concepts that's been around in sci-fi long enough that you could see them exploring that, right?
Especially at an accelerated rate of development.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what For All Mankind has, and hopefully they'll get to tell us the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Matt in Sacramento would like us to consider this as his humble application to be the officially unofficial pharmacist for Bald Move. We don't have one of those.
No. We
So
could probably use one.
until another pharmacist rises to do battle, then you're it, Matt. During the podcast for the first season, episode 3, Aaron speculated Ed has diabetes due to his use of some unknown injectable medication to his buttocks. However, I don't think this is the case. Insulin needs to be injected into the subcutaneous tissue and is usually done in the abdomen or upper arms. Though it can be injected into the buttocks, it's not usually done due to inconvenience. Is it inconvenient to shoot your butt?
Does
I
it
guess you
hurt
have to
sit
get
down
your butt
afterward?
out.
You have to get your
I
butt
don't
out
know.
for one. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can just roll up your shit and put it in your belly fat, or like pinch your up. I guess yeah, I can see. Yeah, we'll accept your professional judgment on that. Although the needle that Ed is using in this scene is much larger than an insulin needle, and he was injecting it into his gluteal muscle, which leads me to believe there's more likely to be a testosterone supplement he's using. This makes sense if you consider
yeah,
that he's getting up there in age and maybe in need of extra help to keep up with the younger astronauts in the program.
and you
I
see
also
him
think this could set
jogging, right? I didn't see anybody else jogging.
I also think this could be set up an interesting storyline if this is in fact testosterone that he is using and leads to some emotional instability that could arise during an intense situation, say as commander of the mission to Mars. Oh boy, we already know that Danny's all sex nuts, and now we got Ed pushing T. I don't know. This is an explosive combination.
Yeah, you've got Danny who just naturally produces extra levels of testosterone, I'm sure, and then a man who's injecting it.
I think we've seen him inject 2 butt shots. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't specified what the hell it is. Because the other thing is like, no offense to the professional pharmacist out there, but like it would be the first time that a show got the wrong length of needle and they were trying to imply one thing and they did the other. Although I just feel there's probably a diabetic on staff somewhere for All Mankind. So like that's kind of mistake doesn't happen as often. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to the testosterone theory.
My favorite thing on television with needles is when they have the needle that's like 3 inches long and they're clearly trying to like draw blood or something, and they just put the fucking thing all the way in their arm.
Yeah, just put it to the stopper.
Yeah.
It's like through the other side. And it's someone like on Alison Brie, and it's like a 3-inch needle and her arms are 1.5 inches in diameter. It's like, where are you putting all this, dude?
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Hold on a second. Let's there's a disruption in the background. You coming back through? Okay. All right, let's move on to other feedback business. Steve says, I remember reading about this at the time. He linked to me an article about Jonathan Pollard. Looks like an actual instead of alternative history to me, maybe included to show possible consequences of Margot's activities. Let me explain. In the first episode, in that montage, they talked about Ayesa, Dev Ayesa's partner. I forget. I think his name was Jonathan Hilliard, who was like his fusion reactor partner. And then they also mentioned this guy that got caught up in spying. Apparently, I heard Jonathan Pollard, and because I don't have subtitles with the screeners, I heard Hilliard. So there is no relation between the person that Dev develops his fusion technology and the Russian spy. This Jonathan Pollard is a real life person who sold state secrets to the nation of Israel, who is an ally of the United States. And he got put in prison from 1987 to 2015. And I think it's like if there's a lot of stuff here because like we don't really, because it is a plea deal, it never went to trial. We don't really know the full scope of what he stole and what he gave to the Israelis and what other countries he might have sold it to and something like that. But it just goes to show you that like if you can do this kind of hard time in a federal penitentiary for selling secrets to an ally, what the fuck are you going to get if they find out you've been giving all of our national defense space secrets to the Russians?
Yeah.
I think Steve's got the right of it here. This is just a show for people who maybe live through that era, paying attention. That Margot could be in some real trouble.
Sure.
So thank you for pointing that out to us, Steve. Sid is next. He says the first question I had was when Danny walked out on the thruster, did he walk on the wrong side of the connecting portion of the ring? It looked like he was walking on the side where he could see the booster from the side, and gravity would only be generated on the side opposite of the burn, right? This took me out of scene because I'm pretty sure he could have been ripped him off, though I could be incorrect. I think if I understand what you're saying that the thrust is going this way and that he would feel the gravity should be coming from the opposite direction of that. But any first-year physicist can tell you that rotational frames of reference are a fucking bitch. You've got pseudo forces, real forces, and I think you're right that Danny would feel a little side slipping because of the acceleration that the station is, but like the predominant force is going to be the one flinging him off.
Yeah.
That's going to be because the other's a slow. I mean, look how long it took that to spin the station from 1G up to 3. It took what, 30, 40 minutes? We don't even really know. It could have taken an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be so much more subtle than the 3Gs trying to fling you off of this. You might be getting a 0.01 G of acceleration going in the one direction, but you're feeling those full 3Gs centripetally or centrifugally. I'm not sure which is the real force there, but that's my reading on it. What is that?
Yeah, no, that sounds right to me.
The second question, I think you have the right of. He says, would Danny's climb have gotten easier and easier as he climbed higher and higher? Not sure this would function like a centrifuge, but I work at a lab, and if you move samples to the center, the rotor needs to spin faster to generate the same G forces. No, you're literally every step of the rung higher would get in a little bit. Now, of course, the station's also accelerating, but I would think he's climbing faster than that. So, like, by the time you're halfway up, you're experiencing probably half the Gs. Maybe even less. I'm not sure if there's a square inverse rule or something.
Yeah, and you eventually get to 0 in dead center.
Yeah, at the hub, there's at the very center of the hub anyway, there's going to be 0 gravity. Keenan from Dallas-Fort Worth. That doesn't narrow it down. That's half of North America, I think.
I want to see the episode where somebody gets stuck at the very dead center of that hub. Like if they accidentally step into the dead center with no momentum.
I hear that's a prank and/or challenge that they do on the IS.
Do they?
The International Space Station, that they put you in like the dead zone of one of the larger rooms, and then you have to kind of like by swimming and flapping and try to get to where you can free yourself.
That sounds like fun.
It's kind of like duct taping someone to a wall. Like you just like a bunch of astronauts bum rush you and take you to the center of a hab and be like, all right, have fun getting out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Keenan from Dallas-Fort Worth area says, longtime listener, first-time feedback given. Love hearing it. Been with you guys since the OG Walking Dead days and look forward to watching shows like The Expanse just so I can hear your breakdown. Well, thank you very much.
Nice.
My wife and I were right there with you on waiting for the slow, dirty dance stare right into Karen's eyes from Danny. The guilt she's going to feel after his possible injury and loss of Sam will drive them closer. Gross. Fortunately, we dodged the injury. Also, he says the Medusa cables did not bother me too much until you guys pointed it out. If the lines were pressurized instead of anchors, I could believe a little bit more. But as they stand, you guys seem to be totally right. That's an interesting point. If these were pressurized like fuel hoses, I would expect a little bit more like wiggle room, like a runaway garden hose, like a fire hose. They didn't appear to be that way. But
no, I think they were just structural support, right?
I think so. It felt to me like these were designed to kind of like as a lightweight way to resist the forces the station's going to feel trying to fling it apart. Yeah. These are like, tension lines to relieve that pressure. We did have a couple people that had some problems with our physics take on this. First up is Blake. He says, one possible explanation for the cable madness that we saw was it wasn't just one cable, but there was successive different cables snapping, and it just chronicling the destruction of each as they disconnected.
Okay. All within range of that one side of the station?
That's the thing. Like, the establishing shot shows how many cables we have to deal with, and like there was only the one quad that was really affected.
Yeah.
If they were breaking all over the station, then yeah, and each one snaps is doing. But like, I didn't think they were.
But the ones
telling
on the
that
opposite
story.
side of the station would immediately fling away from you, right? They wouldn't
Right.
threaten to come your direction. So it'd be like the cable immediately on your side and then maybe a couple around it when they snap
Yeah.
might come swinging at you, but like
And it would get there would be some like flat flailing until
maybe.
it gets equilibrium. So Dennis has a different take. So sorry guys, but the cable won't swing like you think it will. Not at first. You mentioned the garden hose, but you're swinging the garden hose from a vertex. I'm not sure what that means. The cable's attached to the end of. Oh, so you're talking about swinging it from the middle. The cable's attached to the end of the ring and will lash about for some time before the rotational forces affect it, since there's no air friction or gravity. Also, unless there's a weight on the end of the cable, it won't point out like the astronaut on a tether. Think of it more as a big ribbon on a flywheel. Is the show completely accurate? Absolutely not, but it's not as wrong as you might think it might be. I'm tempted to do a TikTok of me with like some kind of like thing that I'm spinning with various things at the end of it to see exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
I still think the amount of flailing that these cables would do on busting would be on the order of seconds and not like over several minutes like they were, especially when you're talking about getting to 3G. That's a lot of force on those cables. And even if and I don't know if I buy the ribbon theory, because we're talking about pretty thick steel cables, which are not that crazy flexible to begin with.
I mean, the thing that
I don't
sounds
know.
convincing to me there is the weight distribution. Maybe like it not being distributed all toward the end is going to make a difference, but
Yeah,
I'm not
and
sure.
it's accelerating. So there could be like if the cable's waving in certain ways that it's like getting more energy put into those oscillations.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know either. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like the thing is like even if I did the real thing that really stopped me on going out my backyard and doing this was like the first objection would be, well, that's not in a vacuum,
Right.
and you're in a
And your
you're already
gravitation
in a
is
gravity well. Yeah.
is coming from two different vectors. It's not good. So
I need Phil Plait from Bad Astronomy.
yes.
Or like maybe Dustin from Smarter Every Day to do a big full scale investigation. Mythbusters. We need Mythbusters.
We need Adam to
come
go
back
up
and do
to
it
the
for all
ISS
mankind.
and try
Yes!
it, right?
Yes, spin this fucker. Get this thing spinning.
Spin the drum.
Like a cable. Yeah, what would you call the ISS? Spin the football field? Like that's not a thing designed to spin at all. Anyway, I'm gonna put Cablegate behind this because the science thus far in the series, other than that, has been stellar and superb. Marcy says, "What led you to believe that Karen and Sam got married? Had they been married, wouldn't they have been sleeping in the same bed in Polaris? The opening scene had Sam calling Karen on the phone as they were both on Polaris. She's not wearing a wedding ring. I think they're just business partners."
Oh, okay.
Patriarchy, I think, might be why I just was like, well, there's a man and woman together.
Yeah, maybe.
And surely they're not business partners. I mean, what? No, I think you might have caught me slacking there. I made an assumption that Karen, one of those prototypical 1950s housewives, would just shack up with the guy after she got divorced from her long-standing. But no, I think you're right. I went back and there were no wedding rings.
Yeah, I assumed too much.
The reaction since has not been one that's been mourning a life partner. It's been someone that's mourning a friend and a partner. But I think you guys are right. I don't think the Sam and Karen were ever married. So
crush him. Who cares?
Crush him. Crush him in that elevator. Also on the back of Margot's neck, there's a yellow sticky on the door frame that appears to say tagged, a reminder to fix her jacket so the tag isn't showing. I think that's what that is. I talked about the patch on the back of her neck. Might be. I didn't go back to check that to see what it was. But the other thing is, like, again, we see early copies that sometimes do and sometimes don't mark the unfinished nature of stuff. So it could have been a makeup test or something that they needed to. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they didn't mean to have like some giant. At this point, 3 episodes in, it's not like she's got some kind of cancer treatment or what. That was what I was worried about. Like there's something wrong, you know.
Nah.
Mr. Josh from Dayton said, "Did anyone catch a glimpse of Margot's Slim Fast can top? They are the old Peel style and not the conventional pop top style. Maybe it means nothing, but it's clearly a deliberate choice. Any thoughts on why? My 2 cents is the pop-top style was invented in Dayton, Ohio by local inventor Ermel Fraze in the early 60s. His machine shop's customers included lots of aerospace clients, including NASA's most, like most machine shops. Our Air Force Base is a big-time feeder into the local economy. My guess is that it's a sly nod to the nation's focus being on the space race, and from that, other breakthroughs took a back seat. Huh. The nation's preoccupation of space delays the release of the Pop Top.
So it's not all positive.
I tried to find out if I could see if Slim Fast was a holdout in the Pop Top thing, or like I don't even know what the fuck they use now. Slim Fast, I think, are just like those weird plastic paper cartons with a screw off top now.
Yeah, everybody's gone to plastic.
But you know, like that's the thing is like if you see like old beer cans and stuff, they don't look like the ones we had today. They're much more cylindrical, and they have these like peel open things rather than the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when Slim Fast, so it could be that they're just being period accurate because that's what they looked like in '92, or it could be that they are implying something subtle about some of the nuts and bolts technology staying the same in favor of like advancement of other things. I don't know.
I think Yoko Ono killed the inventor of the Pop Top in lieu of driving a wedge between the Beatles and John Lennon and that whole assassination.
She couldn't prevent the Beatles reunion in the 90s,
right.
So she took to thwarting minor inventors of aluminum can technology.
Who knows?
All right, give me a second. Okay, moving on to Tommy O. What is the purpose of the whole Karen and Danny relationship? To set up some, sorry, let me take that again. Was the purpose of the whole Karen and Danny relationship to set up some scenario where Danny has to decide whether or not to let Ed die on Mars? If so, I'll retroactively hate that plot between Karen and Danny. Are you not caught up with us? You're retroactively hate. Are you a Karen Danny stan? Darren? Canny? No, I don't. You need to get active. You need to stop this retroactive and get active on the hate. I mean, as far as I know, there hasn't been a smoking crater with Ed's name on it yet. But yeah, go ahead and I encourage you to fire those retro boosters and catch up to the rest of us. I don't know. Like that's the thing. It's like there's no way for Danny to redeem himself, or Karen for that matter. This is just bad. They doubled down on it. Anything that happens as a result of it, I'm going to probably find distasteful. My boy, Ed's his favorite character, and he loathes this Danny Karen shit.
Sure.
I don't even know what he would do if Danny winds up getting Ed killed.
Ed die. Yeah, I mean it's clearly there to create drama between the three of them, right? And I think that's going to work out pretty well. But as far as letting Ed die, that seems a bridge too far. They could flirt with that idea, but then ultimately,
flirt with that idea.
Yeah, Danny's got to be
with an underage
another 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, yeah, but you shouldn't. No, I don't want to because I know Danny was an adult, and that makes it slightly less icky, a little bit. But then again, it's like Karen picking up some rando, horny 20-year-old, guy in Annapolis is one thing, but it's the history. It's the history there. That's yikes, a little yikesy. Tommy said you guys were also wondering what the purpose of Danny's brother Jimmy will be. Since we know the Russians are trying to gain assets within NASA, could Jimmy be a way for them to exploit Danny after it's announced that Danny will be on the mission? Interesting. We already have, of course, the big brouhaha with Margot, but maybe that's the sideshow to take us off our eye off the Jimmy ball.
Yeah, I feel like the Russians aren't going to put all their eggs into one Margot-shaped basket, right?
It'd be fools for them to do so.
Yeah, especially when it takes 7 years for her to hold the hand of the guy she's supposed to be sleeping with to make her into a sleeper agent. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they would do well to create new avenues into NASA.
Yeah, or they could do something where, like, maybe their access to Margot gets cut off for some reason. She's able to extricate from herself, and now they're looking for some other in. But the other thing is, like, I don't turn even if you flip Danny, like flipping an astronaut is a lot less. I mean, God, getting Margot, the director of NASA,
Right?
what a fucking intelligence coup.
Yeah.
Like all the Dannys and Jimmys in the world won't add back up to that. But yeah. Damn it, Margot! You should have let Sergei die. He's dead anyway. You think they're gonna? Yeah.
It's such like an intelligence coup that I could see that being unbelievable unless they do it just right. And I feel like they did do it just right. I felt like
did do it
having
just
her
right.
be who she is and this like
Yes.
7-year build up. If they had flipped her in a week, I would have been like, bullshit. What are you doing?
Right.
But
Right.
they
And
slow
that
played it.
seems. Yeah, it seems like that's how those intelligence coups go. That
Yeah.
you carefully construct a snare, a trap for these people, and then when they're already 3 feet over the line where they could turn back and get it, you spring it on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time, obviously, to do that. Jesse says, to your point about the government adding a lot of red tape to Helios, this is some speculation I thought about, like what they do, some dirty tricks they could play. I bet Ellen is going to be elected president because she's Republican and therefore anti-regulation, which I think was mentioned in her interview with Bragg. She's going to implement policies that would directly benefit Helios, easily helping them to overcome NASA and the race to Mars. Or am I forgetting about her being close to Margot? I also don't remember if Ed or Molly knew about Margot's secret phone calls to Sergei. I could see them or someone else with that knowledge leaking that info and really messing up Margot's vision for NASA and hamstring their attempt to thwart Helios. After episode 2, I really hope Margot gets her comeuppance. Any thoughts on this? Well, we know at the end of season 3, we find out that Ellen is the president.
And there was a
Helios
contentious,
is on the
a little bit of a contentious relationship between Margot and Ellen when they were both at NASA, right? Or when she was working with the DoD or whoever it was.
yeah. Because she had a little bit more pull, a little more suck in that arena.
Yeah. So there was a little tension there.
I think the thing about, like, I don't think these are secret phone calls to Sergei. What they're doing, like the passing the information through, presumably this record deal, I don't know if we'll get more information about that, is the problematic, because, like, they're both the heads of their respective space department. There's several joint missions. They're sharing, it'd be entirely natural and appropriate for them to have regular contact and communication.
Some of
So I
them
don't
are
think it's-
secret. I mean, some of them are happening from payphones.
Well, that's
and shit like that.
the record swapping aspect of it that
Yeah.
that might be. And but there again, like, I would feel like Margot would have to be a person of interest for that to blow up in her face.
Mhm.
Because if I've learned anything from watching The Wire, it's like until they get you on that wire, like, and I think that, like, the show would surely have shown like a government issued face man tailing her.
Yeah.
And taking, like, you'd have seen evidence that the Russians know about it, of course, and they've got the compromise ready to go, but I don't think the FBI does. So, what do you think about this? What do you think about this red tape idea? Because I thought that was a cool idea. That it doesn't look like it's done anything to keep Helios from going to space this time, but I wonder if it's going to be something in later episodes this season or future seasons where NASA and the federal government with a regulatory capacity tries to use that to rein in the civilian Space Force.
It's possible. I didn't think of it from the opposite perspective, where like you might have some contentious relationships between the president and the head of NASA, and maybe that goes wrong.
Get into
and
pissing matches, yeah.
And they use it to like tear NASA down and support the private space travel. But I could see it going either way. Yeah.
Angrid is up and says, I just listened to the first episode of Hi Bob, so I apologize if someone else has already sent you feedback on this. But in case no one did, I have to give you this piece of trivia from watching the 1983 movie The Right Stuff last weekend, which is that Dennis Quaid plays Gordo Cooper in the movie, the astronaut who Gordo Stevens is based on. So in a sense, Dennis Quaid has already played Gordo. Incidentally, in the 1983 movie, Gordo's wife Trudy is played by the actress who went on to play Leslie Knope's mom in Parks and Rec. I did not know that. And of course, Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan were real life married during the 90s. That's interesting. That's pretty. I wonder if The Right Stuff existed in this world. Because, like, the history of space travel completely changed from between when Tom Wolfe wrote that book and the movie's based on, and this was like, yeah.
And didn't Meg Ryan play Tracy in the movie Love in the Sky or
Yeah,
whatever?
that's what she's
Oh,
pointing
okay,
out, the
okay.
irony. Like Dennis Quaid in our universe already
Yes.
played the guy who Gordo is based on, so
Yeah, and Tracy was played by Meg Ryan in the show, and yeah.
I think that's some funny gags. There in that interview that we mentioned at the start of the podcast, the one that was on Inverse. There's a whole bunch of things where like Ron Moore is kind of realizing, like the guy asked him like, "Are you Ron Moore in this alternate universe? Are you beginning to write TNG in this era?" And like Ron Moore's like, "That's actually kind of fun. I haven't thought about myself in this world, but like." Clearly they're having they talked about a lot about them having fun with ideas of like how the subtle like it's not just all the big nation state stuff. It's like the Beatles getting back together and the fads and the fashions and what's delayed. Like he pointed out that in his mind that Star Trek didn't get canceled because people's interest in space only increased. Paramount went on with their Phase 2 Next Generation project in the late 70s. The motion picture never got made, and after the run of Phase 2, The Next Generation, they just started on Wrath of Khan.
Oh my
And it came out a
God.
year later.
Is he writing
Which I guess
Voyager?
is all...
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And I guess it's all supported in the text. Like there's like references to like the people make reference to Wrath of Khan, but it came out the wrong year. So he's got this like, at least on the Star Trek side, it feels like he's mapped out culturally where that is because he's got a personal interest in it. So I thought that was kind of cute in that interview. Anyway, thanks for pointing that out, Angrid. And we're going to move on to Evan, longtime listener, billion-time writer. Love this Bald Move podcast like all the rest. Well, thank you, Evan. Appreciate that. I had some thoughts on the North Korean missile activity in episode 1 of this season. I was active duty in the Air Force for 8 years, and while not an expert, I know a thing or two about ICBMs and space launch vehicles. I thought it was really odd that the show simply states, well, North Korea is no longer focusing on threatening the rest of the world. They're just all about space now. This struck me because the majority of technology and equipment and material that can support space launches can also support ballistic missiles. A coworker once told me the only difference between ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and space launch vehicles is their trajectory and the letters in their acronym. I mean, that was what the space race was all about. Initially, was about the United States and Soviets being like, we can lob a nuke at you, and there's nothing you can do to stop us. And every step in I think, was it is Gemini? No, Gemini. It was Apollo. No, Apollo. What was the fucking first mission? It wasn't Gemini. When we've played. God damn it! We tried to recreate this in the first time we played.
Yeah, we were trying to attack Perth, right? Shit, I can't remember the name of it.
I cannot believe I can't remember the Greek god reference to whatever the first Capricorn. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever that one. That was just essentially proving the concept of nuking each other, but with a peaceful kind of veneer on it. And not Mercury. It's a Mercury program.
Mercury,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. Anyway, they continue. In fact, North Korea previously had stated that their space launch was for peaceful purposes, rather. While South Korea accused them of testing ICBMs. Part of me thinks the writers just wants a country that would be believably irresponsible with its space activities, and I think North Korea fits that bill. But another odd thing is both Russia and China have tested anti-satellite missiles that have caused huge international uproar at the time over the space debris that these tests created. I have heard that every time someone tests these satellite destruction abilities, it creates like 10,000 high-speed shrapnel that NASA and everybody's got to track to keep it from blowing their shit up. Why not use either Russia or China since they've both done this purposefully instead of North Korean accident? Could North Korea cause further headaches for the countries on the moon currently? It seems to be that they are continuing to mention North Korea in these news snippets that are in the background. And I have no idea why, but I have a feeling that they're setting them up to be some kind of rogue state that the main players have to contend with in maybe not this season, but next season and the seasons to come.
Yeah, I do wonder, are they like saving China for something else? Because like that would be a natural one. to add in
It
here.
could also be that the Ron Moore doesn't want to unnecessarily piss off Russians and Chinese that might be interested in watching the show.
Could be.
So North Korea does not watch. I can't imagine they let any American television in North Korea.
Right.
So it could be just as something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they got plans for North Korea. I'm not sure what, and I'm not sure why. Corey says, "Hey guys, first off, I have to say I 100% agree with Aaron regarding the Karen Danny storylines, and both of you regarding the way Margot handled the Ed situation and Ed handling his disappointment towards Danielle. Let's push all of our internet points in the center of the table. Despite this being a milk run to Mars for Ed and Helios, I bet Ed's leadership is going to overcome a problem, and more importantly, I think he's going to die, probably being the first person to die on Mars. Secondly, I don't think Danny will be going to Mars, but instead will have a drunken rampage, will end up having dire consequences, possibly a death for himself and or Karen. We know that Danny's going to Mars as of the end of episode 3. We're not sure if he's going to get there. What do you think? There's been a fixation of Ed dying.
Yeah, a lot of
Do
people
you
want
think
Ed
Ed dies
dead.
this season?
I don't want to see it, but he does a very dangerous job, you know? I feel like it's getting less dangerous every time though. Like a mission to Mars is really no different than landing on the moon. It's just farther away, right? So like
Okay.
I mean, it's really like the concepts have been hammered out. The spacecraft has been tested. It's just a matter of getting there and landing. So I feel like Ed's all right. Ed's gonna make it, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Anything could happen.
I've often wondered like what they would do with like in this era of spaceflight with like a coronal mass ejection. Like if that thing happened, because I remember that was something that like that was in Robert Zubrin's book, and he's like, well, you could build like there could be the crew's water tank at the center, and you could make it hollow so like all 6 crewmen could get into that ball and like hide behind a meter or 2 of water, and it was still kind of like sketchy whether they'd survive. It's kind of like just like, well, it's kind of like building a building in California. Like it, you know, Yellowstone could go up and knock everything down on the West Coast, but are you going to stop building because of that? It's like there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that all the astronauts will get their shit fried because the sun has a hissy fit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We got you for all the internet points on Ed's death.
I wonder if they'll do
Danielle.
anything like that because they've already kind of done stuff like that, right? With the solar flare that
On the moon.
got what's her name, Molly?
Yeah. Cataractor. I wonder what happened to that Dutch guy that was was exposed on the moon for even longer.
Oh, the guy she saved?
Yeah.
He's probably dead.
He was kind of more like, yeah.
He was exposed for a while. Yeah.
He was. Molly's too mean to die. Danielle says, I just want to do a quick write-in regarding what happened on season 3, episode 2 for All Mankind when Margot overturned Molly's decision of choosing Ed as the mission commander over Danielle, as well as creating a committee that would choose the astronauts for future missions. Got a couple pushbacks on this. This was the one that was like the most detailed and representative. I totally get where you're coming from in thinking that Ed was mistreated and that Margot undermined the agency and her position with her decision. It's definitely not a situation that was handled well. However, I do think something like the committee is the first way to increase diversity of underrepresented people in the workplace. When hiring, or in Molly's case, choosing astronauts for missions, is left to a single person, you're automatically at the whims of that person's biases. Furthermore, it seemed like Molly was choosing Ed based on her experience and what she thought a mission commander should be, and was also falling victim to affinity bias, where she's choosing a person most like herself. Not to mention the unconscious bias that Molly might also hold against Danielle regarding her race and gender. While having decisions made by a committee doesn't completely remove bias and discrimination from the picture, it all allows a candidate to be evaluated by multiple people, which can lead to a more objective rating. Having a standardized rubric to evaluate candidates and then compare them against each other is one way to improve this further. At my current company, all hiring is done through 2-panel interviews with a rubric score. Candidates can have large discrepancies between the 2 scores from each interview and are given another look and potentially even a 3rd interview. Not saying it's a perfect system, but it does seem a lot more fair than a single person making all those decisions. Again, while I agree that Margot handled the situation poorly, I do wonder if Danielle would have come out on top had a selection committee been in charge of choosing the mission commander in the first place, and that decision wouldn't have been a bad thing. one thing I tried to make clear on the podcast is like I thought the decision was extremely debatable. I didn't think that there was a like objectively correct choice. Do you go with someone who's more of a risk taker and someone who can think more on their feet? Do you go with someone who's more by the book and cautious? Which of the but also has more like post settler skills? Or do you go with the guy that maybe gets you there on the planet and can't grow potatoes? I don't know. Like it's a judgment call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right. Like everything you say is right about the the biases and how it's unfair to minorities and all that kind of thing. But I think in this case, where you're talking about selecting people who are going on very dangerous missions and have to bear the risks disproportionately in a very small group of people. Like how many astronauts does NASA have in this time era? A few hundred at most. If you have a committee, I think the majority of those committee have to be astronauts. Because like this goes back to when the white coat lab coat dudes burnt like fricasseed 3 astronauts on a launch pad because of just getting obsessively wonked about, if we put pure oxygen in the cabins, we don't have to pressurize it, but like 1 or 2 bars instead of 15. And if we strip all the insulation off the wires, we can save this much weight. And they made an astronaut barbecue because they got lost in their parameters of their mission and lost sight of the men and in this era women. They're going into space and bearing all these risks. So it'd be like if you to make it like as I imagine if all the astronauts were black and the committee was just nothing but white folk. Okay. That's a problem there. There's a problem between the experiences and the burdens and everything. And so I think that if Margot felt really strong about this committee and they wanted a clear path through the astronauts, she should have taken that stuff into consideration. Like a preponderance of them should have been astronauts.
Mm-hmm.
And if she felt this strong about the decision, she should have this in place before this mission that Molly, by the power it vested into her, had the sole discretion on making mission commander. Like I see everything that people are saying about like there's 2 sides to it because there is. Like I think Danielle would have been a fantastic mission commander, probably better than Ed, especially with Ed and his head up his ass attitude towards Danny. But that doesn't make what Margot did right.
No, it's not necessarily about the approach itself. It's about the way it was forced upon Molly. That was the offensive part of it.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of those things where like I start caring a lot more about representation and diversity and that kind of stuff when things become bigger and more mature. And I think that in something like a space age where you got a very small number of group. And they have to have complete trust with each other's lives. Like their opinions should matter a hell of a lot more than the administrators. But yeah, as like as this matures and you get like I think that's the thing. And if we didn't say it on the podcast, I apologize. I think that this kind of move is an inevitable one as this matures from wildcatting, pioneering, frontier busting type of stuff to making it commercialized and safe and repeatable. Like that is a move that we'll have to make. It's just, why did it have to happen now? And if it did, why did you allow yourself to get politically outmaneuvered by fucking Molly?
Sure.
So that's my opinion. Caitlin says, "Hey guys, I'm on the road for work about half the year, and this one tip that definitely helped me was if you're going to be in a motel for more than one night, unpack everything. Living out of suitcases is harder on you than you think. So if I were there for a weekend event, I'd do the same thing."
A weekend?
Another pro unpacker.
That's crazy.
I agree. If it's an overnight, because I did an overnight stay up on the North Shores of Lake Erie this last weekend. Did not unpack my suitcase. Just lived out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to be there for more than one night, yeah, I'm putting that shit in the drawers.
Well, more than one night. Wow. No, weekend trips don't get unpacked. Weekend trips, everything stays in the suitcase as much as possible. Week-long trips, now you're talking.
Well, I'm lucky that the luggage selection committee is headed by Caitlin, an experienced person who's on the road for half a year, and not some Jim Jones hasn't left his house in 3 years kind
Maverick.
of dandy.
A
doesn't
maverick.
know anything.
I'm a luggage maverick. I can live out of a suitcase for decades at a time.
You probably could.
Probably could, yeah.
Out of state boogers. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Out of state boogers. Or hi, Boog. Slingshot maneuvers is to space exploration movies as the timely gear shift up and down is to racing movies. Change my view.
I won't, because it's correct.
I mean, you're not wrong. They're dramatic. They make you go vroom.
Mm-hmm.
They are cinematic as hell. Yeah. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Although I will say it's a lot harder to do just a purely cinematic like gear shift in space. Like the operation, the options for slingshots are not. It's not as common as just working a gearbox. But you're right on. You're right on. Rob, maybe it's the result of watching and reading too much of The Expanse, but whenever I see they showed people on the Polaris and they were in civilian clothes with civilian accessories, I found this impractical. That they figure out a new way to launch people into space that didn't include massive G's, because otherwise it strikes me that everyone's dangly earrings would have been ripped clean out of their ear holes. Also, Ed's chair is just a chair with a 5-point harness on the Phoenix. It looks like a projectile waiting to happen if they need to initiate a burn. Did you notice this, or am I quibbling a bit too much?
I mean, I don't wear my seatbelt when I'm just sitting in my car in park waiting for somebody to like come out of a store or something. I presume they wouldn't wear their earrings during launch.
Yeah. I assume Ed's... Yeah, that's why I feel like that there was probably like, hey, put all loose... Like going on a roller coaster. Jesus Christ. I went on fucking Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. You had to take your eyeglasses off unless you had a strap on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't give a shit. Hearing aids, I saw people getting... They're making them take their hearing aids off. Like, if it was not secured to your body with a goddamn strap, pockets... Cargo zip pockets. They don't give a shit. Put it all in the locker. Mm-hmm. I feel like it'd be something like that. It's like they get you all because they had to wear a spacesuit too, right?
Oh yeah, at some
for the
point.
ascent. Yeah, at some point you'd have to wear a spacesuit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that they probably have like a little baggie and you put all your like heavy earrings and all that kind of stuff, and then it's given to you at the. But like you just don't see that stuff.
Right.
Now, Ed's chair, like, I don't see any problem with that. Like, if it's bolted down...
What's the complaint about Ed's chair?
Ed's chair, that it's like it could be a projectile if they needed to initiate a burn. Like, I don't think Ed's chair is literally unsecured. It's not like got rollers, like an office chair. I think it's bolted to the ground, so I don't see any problem with that.
I mean, there's also the idea that, like, in space flight, you don't really do a lot of unexpected maneuvers. Like, there's nothing out there, man. Like, once you get out of orbit, there's literally nothing out there. There's no reason to ever do a burn that isn't scheduled years in advance, right? So, like, you're not having to dodge shit that's coming at you at 26,000 miles an hour or something.
It's not like a Belter Raider is going to come out with their mass drivers blaring, and you're going to have to take evasive maneuvers and all that kind of stuff.
So, and like, also, having chairs that aren't bolted down is not even a problem if you can store them for a scheduled burn, right?
Yeah. And the Phoenix also is not intended to lift off from a body. It's going to stay in low Earth or Mars orbit and in deep space. So, like, it's not like it's going to have massive G's when it's taking off. I imagine it's much less than the G of thrust that they're going that they took off under. I imagine. But because it's like, a long-term trip, I think it'd be a slow and steady push. But then again, at some point they turn their engines off no matter what. I don't know.
Let me ask you this: up on the Hotel Polaris, did they have like a hotel happy hour or something where they'd stop the spin and just let everybody float in 0G? Because if not, what the fuck are they doing?
Oh, yeah, that
right?
would be. Or they need to have like expanded rooms at the hub so people can experience 0G.
There you
go.
go.
0G suite.
A 0G suite.
Because people gonna want a 0G.
4 times the price, of course. That's the number one reason to go to space.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say in the top 3
for sure.
So yeah, that's a big.
There's exploration. There's domination of a new frontier, and there's space sex. Those are the 3 reasons.
There you go. Massive platinum asteroids. Helium-3, fucking in space. I think we're ready to move on to Craig T for the finale. Says, I love the show and the season so far, but one thing that keeps taking me out of the moment is the amount of green screen scenes, especially when our core cast are in populated areas. I know it's COVID related and it's a very clever way to combat this, and for the most part it works. But what lets it down is the lighting on the foreground compared to the green screen background. Surely there must be some software to color match these scenes to match and make it that much more real.
It's tough.
I've noticed this in so many shows and movies now, especially the MCU. Am I missing
Yes.
something? Because it seems like an easy fix to me. What you're missing is like the budget and where it goes. Like,
Sure.
it's not super hard, but color correcting everything and matching it, I think a lot of times it gets to good enough. And like, we're going to have a very complicated 0G shot this year, and we need to save the budget for that. I will say this. I have noticed that cheapness in some of the Disney Plus crap.
Yep.
I haven't noticed it so much this show. Like, I notice it when things are composited, like when they're doing the historical footage and all that kind of things. And but I haven't noticed a lot of the green screen COVID stuff. I know it's there, but it hasn't jumped out to me. Maybe it's because this is one of my favorite shows, and my barrier for suspension of disbelief being broken is pretty high. But I haven't noticed it. If it's bothering you, I feel bad. Need more color correction, apparently. That's going to be it for our feedback for All Mankind. We'll try to get back a little bit quicker on the next one. Won't leave you hanging for 3 episodes, but it's largely up to y'all. FAM@baldmove.com. If we get a smattering feedback, we'll probably start appending them to the end of the episodes. But we've, like I said, had a whole hour feedback for the first 3 episodes. It's a lot. FAM@baldmove.com if you want to stuff our D-bags or D-mail bags. Or
Sounds dirty.
D-mail servers.
I don't like it.
To capacity. I'm going to move on to F-mail just to be safe. FAM.
That'll help.
At baldmove.com.
Stuff our F bags full.
We will see you tomorrow, probably, because Apple's been releasing these things early. We're going to see about releasing or advancing our release schedule to keep up with them. But we will have a fresh new episode for you and a fresh new podcast episode for you to cover or for you to enjoy and within the next 24 hours. Thank you for writing in. Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jim.
Later.
All right.
Save.
Gotta get out of here.
Save the file. Oh, I gotta get the Talitha crap.
Yep. And we gotta get to Westworld.
Fohammer, thanks for the 23 months of Tier 1 support. Have y'all watched the bonus year-by-year in-universe news reports for the season? I didn't know there was bonus ones. No. Shit, because I was watching this. I will say this, like, I have, in other shows we got screeners for, I always try to see the broadcast version because it's so much better quality. One thing I'll praise Apple for, we get this shit in 4K, man.
Yeah, looks
They're
great.
like amazing compared to every other one that service I have. And I hope this is an app. Apple has their own, almost everybody else uses this other app, but they've rolled their own kind of thing. And it's, I also noticed on the interface is an option for subtitles.
What?
They don't work, and they don't seem to, but there is now a button that allows you to select different language. So I think that we might be getting close to having captions on the screeners too.
That would be great.
Would be a huge boon.
And now if they can just get HBO and some of the others to do that, Amazon. All right, man. We gotta get out of here. We are running desperately low on time.
Yeah, we are. We will see you guys tomorrow night. We're going to be having it's not Thor Love and no, we're going to be having either Transporters, Arrival, or the one that people are going to pick. I forget what it is. Shit. It's on our Twitch calendar if you wanted to check it out.
Roadhouse?
Roadhouse, yes.
Okay.
It's your choice of Transporter, Arrival, or Roadhouse. Starts 8 p.m. tomorrow. same place. We're also going to be restreaming this to YouTube, which will not have the automatic sync feature, but we'll have the time codes up if you YouTubers want to check that out. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.
See ya.